That's what you're talking about? Welcome. Let's go. Let's go.
No homo. I couldn't swallow. No homo.
Is that how we talking though? Yo, I think this shit is funny.
Yo.
Hit him with the Blue Jay when he talked to me. Oh, what the fuck? Shit. Fuck out of here.
Blue Jay. He said, "Yo."
He said, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
My man was shocked that we told you about that story, Ruby? Yo, Blue Jay, what you know about Blue Jay counting money? And he just started drooling out of nowhere. You know how you motherfuckers Dominicans be like, he did that shit, and he just drew big ass glob. He go, wow.
That shit look like
what the?
That shit said, he's like, wow.
He said, wow.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Yo, and I was playing Marvel Sun. I had to stop playing.
No, you wasn't playing. You was on the bed. And you was like, what the fuck? He said, yeah, City, yeah, City.
I was watching it.
He said, yo, you started drooling from counting bread?
He's like, man, that money looked delicious, huh? Yo, he had a fat ass stack in his head, though. All right, come on. Oh, it's been recorded? All right, you ready? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to season 3 of the No Frillz podcast. Of course, the Road Dogs is back in effect. Of course, I'm the host with the most IFCYipeS. And to the right of me,
Chris Matrix, you already know, man. You already know what it is. People's Common Center coming at you with another episode of No Frillz. We told y'all we was back.
Yeah, and I lost count.
Where he's playing.
That's how long it's been. I lost count. I think we're at 42 right now. Don't even correct me. Just let me see it upload.
It's 40. It's 41.
41.
It's
41.
41. Yeah,
I like
41.
that. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Well, man, how's your week been?
You know, my week been okay.
Okay.
I know by the time you guys are seeing this, we'll probably be well into another series, but unfortunately, the Brooklyn Nets did lose. I am a Knicks fan, but I support all New York teams.
You did say that.
And you know, I thought our city was gonna have a championship this year. Injuries suck, but it is what it is. They're part of the game, so I was definitely bummed out about that.
All right, since you support New York teams, just throw it out there. See your knowledge.
Yes.
When was the last time we seen gold?
Basketball?
In general, New York.
Oh, Giants.
Okay. All right, let's make sure you know.
I was like, what?
Make sure you know. That's why I said gold. I ain't say what it was.
Oh yeah. Eli,
okay.
Baby.
Yeah.
Eli. Yeah.
Beat the Patriots. I remember.
Eli owns Tom Brady.
Whoa.
He's still the GOAT though, but he owns him.
Eli Manning owns Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
How does he own him though? Like that's not a one-on-one bout.
Beats him every time.
So the teams
beats him every time.
So the teams that Eli Manning is on defeats Tom Brady. So if Eli Manning retired, he's tired, right?
Yeah, he's you know.
I understand. You gotta speak on it. But anyway, yeah, kind of sucks for the Nets, you know? We don't got to talk about it too much. You know,
it was rough.
KD, shout out to KD. He did everything that he could. The Reaper, the Slim Reaper, impressed the hell out of me. He left everything out on the floor. I wasn't even mad at the air ball at the end, to be honest.
Yeah. I think he should have took a better shot than that. But he was probably gassed. You know what I mean?
That's what I meant. And I mean,
he should have attacked the basket.
And I'm pretty sure it was mental distraught for Kevin Durant, knowing that he was that tired and he made that last shot, but he stepped on the line. Because, you know, you have that relief, right, where you think you got it won. And all of a sudden, he just realized it was a 2-pointer, so he went to OT. That kind of sucks for KD.
I respect him for going for the win, though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he had it. If his big-ass floppy feet wasn't touching the line, he was good. But you can't even blame him. Tucker was pressing him pretty good. You know what I mean?
Tucker played outstanding defense on Kevin Durant. Even though the buckets and the points reflect otherwise, Tucker still made him work for it. You know what I mean?
Look at it like this. I mean, one thing that I'll give credit to Tucker is he's been guarding Durant for like his whole career, pretty much. For people that don't know, you know what I mean? Every team that Tucker was on, anytime he bumped into Kevin Durant, he was definitely guarding him every single time. So it's to the point where Kevin Durant and Tucker actually have a relationship. Like they actually got to know each other.
Yeah, they're cool. No,
they're actually cool in real life. People actually get it confused that PJ Tucker's going hard, but there's a reason he's going hard. He's going up against that guy. Who the fuck is going to block him? You got to press him. You got to time him out. You know what I mean? So beautiful stuff there, PJ Tucker and the Bucks. I know Milwaukee's happy. I know there's a lot of fans out in the FGC that from Milwaukee who love the Milwaukee Bucks. You know what I mean? I had a joke saying that Milwaukee sucks, but obviously that's not the case. But yeah, man, obviously that's not the case. But, you know, shout out to Milwaukee, of course, again, for winning a grueling Game 7 series. And you know what? I can't even use the excuses on injuries because that is part of the game. You know what? And lucky for Giannis to be in that low post for Kyrie to get injured. Anyway, moving forward. All right, so you know what now? I mean, we basketball fans out here, so who do you got winning now that the Nets is out of the picture? I mean, obviously for me, I could go first for this. Obviously for me, I'm going for the Clippers just off the strength that Lee Chung's favorite basketball player is Kawhi Leonard, and mine is Paul George. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna go in the comments and be like, "Yo, Paul George." Let me not even say this too loud. I don't know. I hope Grizzy don't watch the No Frillz podcast, but he really hates Paul George. You know, I got a couple of homies that don't give him credit. You know, I'm still holding on to Indiana Pacers Paul George. I mean, he's not the same, but goddamn it, that guy was amazing. But it is what it is.
So
who you got?
Who do I have or who I'm rooting for?
Who do you have? Just look, straight cut and dry. We looking at the teams. We looking at the list. We going looking at matchups.
I mean, if I had to pick somebody that I felt deep in my heart I was gonna win it, it's the Bucks. Definitely the Bucks.
So do you feel like, all right, so let's go from there. Let's start there. All right, so do you feel like the Bucks should smoothly handle the Atlanta Hawks?
Oh yeah, that should be bus ass.
That's bus ass.
That should be about 5. That should be 5-1. 4-1. 4-2 at best.
That bad 5-1?
Because
it's not even the first.
No, 4. Yeah, I know, right?
No, but it's that bad.
4-2. It should be, and I say that with a grain of salt because the Hawks are definitely capable of having like some miraculous freaking gigantic games out of nowhere where Trae Young will give you freaking like 32, 16 on freaking like 40-something% 3-point shooting and stuff like that. Something crazy, right? But bottom line is like that's something special that has to happen on a consistent basis. When Giannis is gonna be Giannis regular shit.
That's true.
They can't do nothing with that guy.
And Capella ain't gonna stop him.
They can't do nothing with him. Nothing. They got PJ playing defense, Drew Holiday playing defense.
Drew is nice, boy.
And Chris Middleton is nice too. So, like the Bucks, they're pretty consistent. They're gonna be consistent on what they do night in and night out, right? They not always extraordinary, but they're always above average. Consistently.
Agreed.
Hawks cannot be above average against them. They have to be extraordinary for 4 games. I would love to see it happen because my dream matchup would be to see the Atlanta Hawks play the Phoenix Suns, to see Trae Young versus Chris Paul. That'll be like a nice point guard duel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Both of them dime. One is better from 3. One is better from the mid range. Fast as hell. CP3 is more traditional point guard.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean? So that's my dream matchup. That'll be the most entertaining to me. I would like for CP3 to get to get to the finals at least, if not win the ring. My money was on the Clippers to win the Western Conference Finals back then, but that was obviously before Kawhi got hurt also. So they got their work cut out for them. But what's great is you have Paul George, you have
Reggie Jackson.
Paul George, you have Chris Paul, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo.
We're talking about just the mix.
And then you have Trae Young. 4 great players, or you know, all-star level players. None of them have a ring. So it's crazy that one of those people are gonna get a ring for the first time.
Yeah.
So that's actually what's godlike, and this is for the first time in a while with the NBA and basketball, right? Nobody knows shit. We don't know who the hell is gonna win this shit.
I mean, this is a fact. I mean,
we know nothing.
Obviously, at the beginning of the season, literally at the beginning of the season, we already had the Nets winning. Just based off just seeing the player list in terms of just who's involved. Just those big 3 just make a big team. Obviously, they had Aldridge, but due to the fact of his heart murmurs and shit, he had to retire early. You know what I mean? Blake Griffin all of a sudden could dunk. You know what I mean? Like, they got a lot of pieces. You know what I'm saying? I still got respect for my man Green. He's pretty much been with Durant since the Seattle Supersonics. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we all thought that the Nets was going to win. But obviously, again, even though that did look guaranteed, but again, injuries is part of the game. And I just didn't accept to play that.
It just sucks that they're like two of their best players got injured. Like, you know, like I don't wish injury on nobody.
Not
right?
at all.
But like, why did those two have to get injured? Like,
why now?
Joe Harris did. Why was it not like Joe Harris or somebody or freaking like Blake Griffin? Like, not wishing injury on them, but like, is it a coincidence that those two were the ones that got injured? Like, that's sick to me. You know what I mean? Anthony Davis pulled the muscle. Like, why wasn't it Caruso or something like that? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy that the major superstars are the ones that got injured, and it's more crazy where we have an NBA Finals, no Kevin Durant, no LeBron James, probably no Kawhi Leonard, no Stephen Curry. Really? No James Harden. Like,
I mean, a lot of history was made with this playoffs, man. Obviously, the Clippers made it to the Western Conference Finals for the first time ever. Mm-hmm. I actually was shocked by that because I used to watch a lot of Lob City, but remember, I wasn't really heavy on basketball at that time, so I would figure they would be up there, you know what I mean? And at least in the Western Conference, but they actually never won a Western Conference. Never won. Well, let's not even say win. They never got to the Western Conference.
That's right.
Which is actually crazy, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The dream matchup that I wanted to see pushing up into this was Lakers versus Clippers, right? It was to the point where the Clippers was trying to avoid the Lakers. They actually took a dive to the Houston Rockets to actually get the lesser seed. Just say they won't even have a chance to bump into the Lakers. I don't know if he was paying attention to that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's a call on Ty Lue or freaking the higher offices. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too sure, but I feel like that was a cop out regardless. You know what I mean? But I mean, if you see the proof in the pudding, it worked out. They didn't even have to worry about the Lakers. But it kind of sucks that the Lakers actually got injured early on. You know, from obviously Anthony Davis with the ankle. Same thing with LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Like that just kind of sucked that all of that just played out, especially when they just got their new pieces. I'm actually very upset that Frank didn't play Montrezl Harrell for those minutes, didn't give him those extra minutes, and he's about that life. You know what I mean? That's the former Sixth Man of the Year, and he definitely could have put some mean muscle and a good presence in the Lakers, you know, game plan in general. So that kind of sucks. You know what I mean? But yeah. I mean, that's no here nor there. We're looking at the playoffs now. And just to touch up on that, yes, somebody's obviously going to win a ring. I would love for it to be Chris Paul, only because, you know, he's been through his fair share of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And he was supposed to play with Kobe, but they vetoed it. And then you see all these hot teams now, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, everybody's joining for us. Super teams coming out.
But all right, so look at it like this. Let me ask you this. So Stephen A. Smith made a very bold statement. And he said that Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant. Now, me, personally, I do get the gist of comparing gameplays, but I feel like Devin Booker is Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? But I do see a little bit of Kobe in him in terms of the hunger, in terms of really being cerebral, in terms of really abusing the fadeaway and the mid-range shot. You know what I mean? Like Devin Booker, he ain't shying away. He did say that he took a lot of Kobe's moves. You know what I'm saying? That just, it is what it is. But how do you feel about that statement? Do you actually agree with Stephen A. Smith?
I mean, I can see where he's coming from with that. I don't think I can't see it yet, only because like I need to get to know Devin Booker more on a basketball IQ level,
right?
You know what I mean? Because Kobe, despite the flash and everything, Kobe was brilliant.
Yes, he was.
When it came to the game of basketball, his basketball IQ was up there, even with like a LeBron James. But because of the sometimes his shot selection and the efficiency of when plays break down, and then he was forced to take certain shots, is not going to always reflect. Because obviously, you know, he was a mirror image of Michael Jordan, just less efficient. Jordan was super efficient with it. You know what I mean? So Devin Booker, I gotta see more. You know what I mean? Like, he was always good. Don't get me wrong. He's bad. He is dead nice. Like, he's a baller. Yep. Right. But now I gotta see like moving more. I gotta see like which direction he's leaning more towards. Right. Because he's showing me that he does have that killer instinct. He does have that takeover mentality. You know what I mean? What you want to call it, Mamba mentality or whatever. But in terms of his game, it's not quite Kobe to me.
Okay.
Now, a closer comparison to Kobe for me will be a Jason Tatum.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Yeah, Jason Tatum. If they're saying like he's the next, I can definitely see that because he got ice one in his veins too, and like his whole game style and everything, like to how like freakishly athletic he is and skilled he is for being that size and fast, and he can shoot the ball. You know what I mean? Devin Booker, he's like his own beast right now,
and that's why I said what I said.
He's his own beast right now. So like he might create a new mold. You know what I mean? Just like freaking Steph created a mold. Like I don't see Devin Booker being more related to like a Kobe. Like I can definitely see him evolving to maybe superstar level, like Kobe level, like eventually with if he can rack up some rings also, as long as what he's doing is going to translate to a win and not like, okay, he's not winning because he doesn't have enough. Like the times where you have enough and you're able to win a ring, and now it just comes down to you performing and not like that. Like this year, they're very capable of getting a ring. Very capable. You know what I mean? There's no team that's like definitively better to where like, okay, they can't overcome it. If they face the Bucks, they can beat the Bucks. The Bucks are probably a slight favorite, but they can beat the Bucks. You know what I mean? They can. You see what they're doing to the Clippers right now.
I mean, I just love the Suns' chemistry, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just the whole unit. You know, they got Campaign, they got Ayton, they got Chris Paul, they got Booker, they got Crowder. Shout out to Crowder. He's a good. Yo, I literally like. You know, I like Crowder. He plays good defense, but he's always that spot up shooter. When he's hot, he's hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's played on a bunch of teams. You know what I mean? And lucky for Crowder, every team that he ends up in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So he always has, in terms of that OG mentality, in terms of having that experience, Crowder is definitely one of those guys you want to have on your team. You know what I mean? So good stuff to Crowder. You know what I mean? And he always guarded LeBron James for all of his career, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
he's that grunge guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's that. Every team needs one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? If you have one of those guys, it's a big privilege. You know what I mean? Because he's that guy that could freaking take a lot of load off your scorers, because like a PJ Tucker, he takes a lot of load off of Giannis from having to guard Durant. You know what I mean? Even though Giannis is in tremendous shape, like Giannis used to be skinny. Go look at some photos. He was skinny.
Oh, and it's funny, just to touch up on that. So if people haven't realized this, but back in the day when he was younger, when he had the shortcut, when he had the straight Caesar, he was actually a better 3-point shooter when he was younger. It's once he's put that body on himself, that mass, that's when he took the role of just being that big body, taking it to the hole. You know what I mean? But he was actually, his percentage was actually higher when he started with the Bucks on the 3-point end than he is now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy how it just goes to show you when you just change a little bit and just get more on the athletic side, because we already knew he was athletic, you know what I'm saying? But just changing it to the athletic style, it literally simmers things that you was better with back in the day than now, you know what I'm saying? Which is kind of crazy when I really look at it, you know? So it's interesting to see when players get better. I mean, we don't got to talk about Ben Simmons. Speaking of players that need to be getting better.
Oh yeah, we'll get to him. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But yeah,
but yeah, like a PJ Tucker, having a guy like that, like a Draymond Green, having these guys that do a lot of intangibles.
He should have been defensive player of the year, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Well, man,
I believe you. Him a Ben. Overruled.
Ben, okay. I can definitely make a case for Ben Simmons on defensive player of the year, 100%, 100%. But the defense that Rudy was playing translated to his team having the best record in the league. So, you know, like I said, it gotta translate to win. I mean, not that the Sixers didn't have a great record also, but it's tough. Like either one of them got it, I can give it to them.
I mean, listen, this is how you know Ben prioritized defense, and this is how I knew he cared about that more than scoring, right? Which is kind of crazy. They had him on an interview after the playoffs, right? And then they would just ask him. I remember they just asked about his performance, about how he did it against the Atlanta Hawks. And the first thing he ran to was like, "Well, do you see how many shot attempts Trae Young had?" And Trae Young, he pretty much shit the bed the last game, but he had about 11 assists, so that's rounded up about 22 points. You know what I'm saying? You know, like just round it up. Like I don't know how many times he assisted, and it was a 3-pointer, but just to round it up, 22 points he assisted on the board, right? And he was literally like 4 for 20 and change. He was trash. He played trash that night, but he's facilitated the ball how he needed to for everybody else to eat. You know what I'm saying? But he literally prioritized that answer. He said, "Did you see how many attempts Trae Young?" I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, but where's your points at?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, there was situations where he actually had open dunks and he passed the ball. Like, this guy was actually that scared to get hack a bend. Like, you could literally see that he was scared to go to the free throw line.
Yeah.
You could kind of tell that the people are starting to get to him. in terms of social media. Like, you can tell little shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, the people are starting to get to him. I feel like he's questioning his actual ability as a basketball player. You know what I mean? It's to the point where he's actually thinking about changing his shooting hand. He's a lefty. He's about to go righty. There's actual footage out there where he's actually practicing and he's making shots more efficiently with his right hand than his left hand, which is kind of funny. So, you know, at this point, it's up to him in order to how to step his game up. I mean, Jay Will said this best. You know what I mean? Don't doubt Ben Simmons when he's down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously, he played shitty, especially when it mattered the most. And hell, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I actually feel sorry. I kind of feel sorry for Doc Rivers, but not really, because they should have been closed this shit out. They was up, 25 in game 6? They was up 25, right? They cut the lead down to 15. And he still decided to keep some of his bench players in the game instead of putting the main roster. And obviously, you already saw the Atlanta Hawks run. They bring that shit
Doc
back.
He got out coached. He got out coached.
Yeah, for sure. Because, you know, when you see that momentum is catching up on the other team, you got to dead that shit off the spot. Like, yo, bring your main squad, get on the defense, cool those motherfuckers down. He literally let those motherfuckers warm up. So it's just like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Again, I feel sorry for Doc Rivers, but not really, because his record in Game 7 is terrible. I think he's 6-9 now.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's pretty bad. He's not even in the plus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel bad for him on that end, but I don't know the pressures of a coach, for real, especially when you got to hold down a franchise. I mean, you know, credit to Doc Rivers, though. Shout out to Doc Rivers. First year on the Sixers, he had some great talent. He actually gave more touches to Seth Curry. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't getting as much when he was with Dallas.
Yeah, he had Seth clicking. And the thing with Doc is that he's going to be more respected because he's an actual champion, you know. Yeah. So he has that championship pedigree.
Even Portland, he wasn't even getting that many touches, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, but Seth Curry definitely came into his own. You know what I mean? Thing with Ben Simmons is, right, it's one thing for a superstar. Well, Ben Simmons is not a superstar, but I'm just saying, even in the case of a superstar, it's one thing for them to have a bad game, to play bad, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's a make or miss league. You know, sometimes you just don't have it that night. Sometimes you're taking all the right shots and then you're still missing. Something's a little off, right? Cool. Ben Simmons didn't even try.
Didn't.
And that's what he's getting flamed for.
Yep.
He's the effort. Playing defense is an effort, right? You have to be a willing defender. Playing defense is an effort. You have to make the effort to play defense. Same thing with being assertive, being aggressive on offense. You have to make the effort, you know what I mean? Especially when your team needs it. And I agree with something I believe Shaq said, right? Yeah, maybe like after the first game, second game, okay, you know, like, all right, I realized I needed to be more aggressive. But by the time you get to game 3, that's it. You got to turn something on now. It's time for you to start taking some shots. Bro. You know what I mean? Miss shots. You know what I mean? But go for the attempts. You know what I mean? Like, don't be passive in this league, because that's gonna bite you in the ass. And now, like, his stock dropped so much.
Yeah.
I'm very open to who I would take on my Knicks. Right? Very open.
Not Ben
I would
Simmons.
take a lot of people. I'm not taking Ben Simmons. I would not.
Damn.
I would not take Ben Simmons. No shot.
And this is just off pure. He's not. This is just off of going off the fact that he's not cerebral and he's not taking his job serious.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, there are some people that do work on a lot of their weaknesses in practice, and then they have just mental, like mental problems in the game. Like, for instance, DeAndre Jordan. Remember a few years ago when they was implying the hacker Jordan?
Yeah.
So DeAndre Jordan was actually a decent free throw shooter in practice. Mm-hmm. Very, very, very good free throw. So I think he was about 75% in practice, right? It's just that when he got in a game, for whatever reason, his mentals were not there. So he let the game jitters get to him, or his mind was elsewhere. So he shot a horrible percentage in games, right? And that comes down to like whatever's going on with you mentally. That's why a lot of players will see shrinks, psychiatrists, to get their mind right to the point where they're in the game and they're not being affected by things, to where they can perform how they normally perform.
That shit is psychological.
Yeah, because it relates to everything you do. Like, even gaming, somebody could be very, very good in casuals, and they on their shit, but then they get nervous in tournament or whatever, or everything goes out the window because they're worried about everything else. They can't play their natural game, and they don't perform as well. But these players, gamers, don't make millions of dollars. These players make millions of dollars. So they have the luxury of seeking help and getting help for the things that they need help with, So if you know that in practice you're shooting a certain percentage and you have that much game slippage, because there's always game slippage. You shoot 95% in practice, you know what I mean? You might shoot 85% in the game. Fine.
Which
game
is still solid, yeah.
Game slippage, right? Obviously, game situation is different. But when it comes to free throws, right, there's nothing altering the mechanics of your shot and how consistent you can shoot the ball the same way. It's a free throw.
Yep.
So I hold players, especially NBA players, to an extremely high standard on free throws. In my opinion, I don't think anybody in the league should shoot below 65%.
Not at all.
There's no excuse for that. And 65% is not even good, but there's no excuse for that. You have access to a gym, you have access to like the best type of facilities, and you have access to people who can get your mind right. So if you are having trouble, then you need to seek that help and get that help and pay for that help. So I don't excuse that. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons, no effort there. Like, work on your craft. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he could run a floor. I give him that. He can definitely run
he's amazing. Listen, on both ends of the floor, let me not say both ends, but his presence, just because his presence is felt, it's a little tougher for the defender or for the offenser to actually get their rocks off. Because look, even though Ben Simmons is getting all the slander, he is an amazing athlete. He is. He's really good. But obviously, because he's taking these L's, I feel like he's actually more for the bench position at this point until he gets his shot up. But yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. I just had to that though.
Yeah, no. So it's like, work on your craft. Number one in basketball.
Talk to me.
Number one. And even Kobe Bryant said this quite a few years ago.
Get a jump shot.
Yeah, he said, yo, Ben Simmons, he said he's going to need to get a jump shot.
Free.
Shooting is the key that opens every door the game has to offer in basketball.
On all ends, too.
Yes. Because if you cannot shoot, like he said, the defensive plan is simple. Cut off your paths to the basket. Now, Giannis is an exception because he's so freakishly more athletic and bigger than everybody else. So he can do that. And same thing with LeBron James. Like, there's players that can do that. But, like, if you just think, like, Giannis is probably a jump shot away from being the best player in the league.
Oh, man, that's true.
He's a jump shot shot away from being the best player in the league. How are you going to? You cannot stop him. He'd be unstoppable, completely unstoppable if he had a jump shot. Like a jump shot. Unstoppable.
That's scary, actually.
It is scary.
That's scary. Yeah.
It is. You can't stop him from coming to the basket. You had people you had him playing him like below the free throw line, and he's still getting to where he needs to get to. On some height joint, on some freaking speed, footwork, he's still getting to where he needs to.
And he got a wingspan, bro. Like, that shit is kind of OD.
Right. So it's like, yo, and Giannis shoots more than Ben Simmons. He takes the effort. He takes threes. He be hitting them shits. When he high, he hit them shits. Yeah. So, like, Ben Simmons, I can't excuse it. You know, like, I can excuse it if you had a bad game, because, like, even the best of shooters have bad games. Like, yeah, listen, I was salty, right? Super salty. Joe Harris just stunk it up. Like, you got one job on that team, and that's to shoot. And you are a pure shooter. And that is what you are paid to do. You're on a team with 3 other guys that will get you your open shots, and they will find you and get you open shots. Facts. You are not taking up that much attention on the court to where, like, they're like, okay, like, I got to stick with him no matter what. After the dribble penetration, I'm not going to help off of him because he's boom. No, they're still helping, and you're still going to get the shots you need. But he had a bad series, and I'm salty because I lost bread on that. But at the end of the day, he still made the effort. You know what I mean? And he still took those shots. Yeah. He still took those shots. Ben Simmons, that was terrible. Terrible.
And the reason why I feel, and you know why I bring this up is because, you know, shout out to the city of brotherly love. I fuck with Philly heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're literally our next door neighbors. You know what I mean? Obviously, we got Jersey, but, you know, we traversed to Philadelphia for many years. You know what I mean? When it comes to this FGC side of things. Obviously, you know, shout outs to Big E. He was tight.
Oh, yeah.
I went to Facebook. He's like, fuck. All I saw was the post that shit said, fucking Ben Simmons. Yeah. That was literally his post. And I'm like, damn, E. Because, shout out to Big E, man. You know, there's not a lot of people that actually support their home teams like me. You know what I mean? I support, you know what? Just to cut that off, I support my home teams because I know my people got bread on them. You know what I'm saying? So when it's time to root and shit like that, I back up the New York teams. But I never grew up with New York teams like that. I mean, besides like the Mets and the Yankees. Shout out to my pops. He loves baseball. So you know what I mean. But it's just crazy to me, right? That he had to stress that and he had to watch that, especially when they was up 3-1. I think they was up 3-1 right at one point, right?
Yeah.
They was up 3-1, and then just to watch that happen, you know what I'm saying? It's very hurtful. But you know, again, shout outs to the city of brotherly love. I mean, I saw the footage. They was burning my man's jersey, dog. Like it's at that point. Like they literally grabbed the jersey, they threw it in flames and shit. Like this, they had enough of Ben Simmons. And you know who else had enough of Ben Simmons? I could kind of see it in the gameplay. Joel Embiid. I could kind of feel it in his gameplay. And mind you, that's like one of Ben Simmons' biggest supporters. It is Joel Embiid. Yeah. But there was these certain clips. I'm gonna link you there where they reading Embiid's lips, and he's literally telling him, Ben, shoot. Yeah. He's like, shoot the ball. Like Embiid actually was mad when he had that open lane for the dunk, and then he passed it up to his man. I don't even know the guy's name with the fro, and he got double teamed off the pass. Yeah, I don't follow Philly, so I don't know all the names. So forgive me. I follow a lot of basketball, but I don't know all the players in certain teams that I just don't watch. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I feel like right now with this Final Four, this is I'm gonna have to say this is actually some of the best basketball I've seen in a while.
It's exciting, like I said, because you don't know who's gonna win. Yeah. Like all the previous years, people had a pretty good idea of who was gonna take it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about basketball is like the better team is most likely gonna win because it's a 4 out of 7. You know, football, 1 game Super Bowl, 18-0 Patriots can lose to the Giants. You know what I mean? That it can happen. So that's why it's up in the air. It's exciting because of the NBA right now is so up in the air. So we don't know what's gonna happen. So like it brings like a new like flavor to watching the game because you really like, damn, this team is doing good. But they're gonna wind up losing to the freaking Nets or the freaking Warriors. Or it don't even matter how good they playing now. When they see them in the finals, it's over. Nope. That's not the case. Now it's like who's gonna show up, and every couple years the NBA has one of those turns where it's like a huge twist. Like, oh wow, like these two teams in the finals, which is cool. You know what I mean? I love basketball, you know, and I love that aspect of it too. Injuries just suck, but at the same time, it's like it is a part of the game, and you gotta hold that. Now, like, let me just clear the air, right? So I have a high. I'm a high critic when it comes to basketball. Yes, you are. On a fanatical tip and competitive standpoint, right? But as a human being, I have compassion because you know maybe Ben Simmons got stuff going on in his life that we don't know about. You know what I mean? Same thing with Joe Harris.
I'm gonna be honest, just to add up to that, I'm just gonna round it up to karma, son. Yeah. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. So Ben Simmons plays video games on Twitch. Right? He had a conversation with Karl Anthony Towns one day. And he told Karl Anthony Towns, right? Because he wanted to play another game. I forgot what game they was playing. But they was playing, whatever. They was on Twitch. And Ben Simmons was like, yo, come on, you got time for one more game? And Karl was like, nah, man, we got to play tomorrow. My man Ben Simmons said, yo, who y'all play tomorrow? Oh, we play the Hawks. Oh, come on, man, you got time for another game. Oh. It was one of those. So it's like, the bullshit is like stacking against us. I ain't even noticed. I seen the footage. I was like, wow, man. You know, I'm a big believer of karma. Firm believer. I got hit with that shit a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So I know for a fact that shit exists, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I remember I mentioned karma to you a long time ago. Yes, you know what I mean? And it stuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's true. You feel me? Somebody bites you in the ass, they might get bit a little harder. You feel me? And in this case for Ben Simmons, yeah. And then he lost to the Atlanta Hawks. On top of that, man, I believe that shit, man. That energy's all over the place. It's how you can contain that energy and actually be positive with it. Because at the end of the day, you just gotta keep your mouth fucking shut, bro, and really focus on you and the gameplay. Because honestly, man, like me watching the NBA now, there's just too much talent. Like I be watching all these players, and I'm like, damn, can LeBron James actually stay hanging on to this shit? He's getting old. What? He's about to hit 37, right?
No.
He is 37. He's 36.
He's turning 37.
He's turning 37. I know he's 37.
I know he is.
Carmelo just turned 37. And speaking of Carmelo Anthony, you know, he's been going through his bullshit. He actually got divorced, you know, recently. But I mean, that fucking relationship that shit went down the shitter for a long time. You know what I mean? But that's no here, no there. But I'm sure in his mind, for his kid and all that shit, he's been stressing. You know what I'm saying? But the good news is there is a rumor out there that Carmelo Anthony might end up with the Lakers with LeBron James. This is his last year with Portland. And I kind of feel like this is too late because remember, for those that actually been keeping an eye, he was supposed to play for the Miami Heat. It was supposed to be him, D Wade, and LeBron James, but Melo got a little greedy on the money side. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
Which is real, right? Which is real.
He came to New York. I got love for Melo.
That's real. Yeah, he took on. He took on
Bron
that.
didn't come here.
He took on that job.
The money was here for Bron.
He did. But just to continue what we touching about, Melo said no. They wasn't giving him the chicken that he wanted, and they gave that position to Chris Bosh. For people that don't know, you know what I'm saying? Chris Bosh actually, I think, was supposed to end up in the Miami Heat, but he was going to be a bench role if in the case that Carmelo Anthony actually made it to Miami Heat. And the reason I even bring that up is because there was a podcast he had with Jalen Rose. And Jalen Rose asked, like, yo, if you was on that team, you would have won rings. He was like, yeah, I would have won at least 2. Which is, I think it would have, for real, I think he would have actually got 2, at least. At least 1.
That's fair. No,
you know what I'm saying?
He got 2. Yeah.
He would have got 2, man. Yeah. But it's just crazy
that's
how
when Melo was balling it. You know what I mean? He was balling.
That was ISO guy, my man. You was in that island with him. You was fucked, bro. Yeah. Jab step, beautiful.
Yeah, his triple threat was crazy.
It was crazy. So if you ended up on that ISO island with Melo, you was fucked, bro. Like we saw it. You know what I mean? He had to get double team. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty bad. But yeah, man, it's just crazy how one decision can actually dictate your whole career, which is crazy. He should have just said yes to Miami. Maybe winning that chip, probably took it a year, maybe 2 years, win the chip with Miami, and then he could talk about his stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I got you 2 chips. Man, I'm this efficient. I got 25 plus points per game. You know what I'm saying? I was averaging 40 minutes in the game. I was pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? So now let's talk money. But
Lala wanted to go to New York.
It's just, hey, I fuck with it. It was a great decision. It's just, you know what? They didn't just have the complete roster around. You know what I'm saying? Like, New York is New York. Who don't want to play in the Garden? That's cash. You know what I'm saying? Who don't want to play in the Garden? You feel me? So I give credit to a lot of people. I mean, shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr. Say Porzingis. I know he didn't even want to leave the Knicks, but you know what I'm saying, they forced him out, especially with injuries. You know what I mean? Just shout out. It is what it is, man. Right now, the reason why I even keep an eye on the Knicks is because my man Derrick Rose is on it, and that's another thing too. Apparently, the Lakers want Derrick Rose as well. Remember Kobe, for people that don't know Kobe before he passed, he actually wanted Derrick Rose on the Lakers. He was telling the management of the Lakers, like, yo, man, get Derrick Rose. And of course, the organization is just so worried. When it comes to business, people are just so worried about injuries. When you have shit on paper, it's like, yeah, but he's weak here. Yeah, but he's weak there. You know what I'm saying? That's what fucking sucks about basketball, because even though it's a sport about love and passion, the business aspect really shrouds a lot of the love of the NBA. I mean, let's talk about it right now. Commissioner was Adam Silver, right? Adam Silver? He could have gave these players a break, man. He literally could have let them heal a little bit, but you know what? Because money was down and he needed to keep things moving, he literally started that season early.
Right.
And look what happened. Look at the end results. People are getting fucking injured, which kind of sucks. Like, it kind of sucks seeing a playoffs without LeBron James. Anthony Davis coming to his own pretty much as the head honcho of the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron James is the head honcho, sure, he's the facilitator, but who's that star, the main star? It was Anthony Davis. And I actually do feel like it was a mistake that they let go of Rondo, but it's near here nor there. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I
mean, well, Schroeder was supposed to perform a little better than what he's been performing,
and it was the same price. Apparently, the same price that Dennis got. It was what Rondo was supposed to get. So I don't know if Rondo got greedy in the deal. I'm not too sure. You know what I'm saying? But he's still in the playoffs, even though they're down 0-2. You know what I'm saying? But they've been here before. They literally did it back to back
2 times already. Yeah,
2 times. So I don't know if they're gonna turn it up, man. I mean, the Suns is very well balanced. They got Chris Paul. They got a point guard. Damn, yo, you know what's crazy? It made me realize how important the point guard position is. Even more this season.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially, like, for example, seeing a team like the Nets struggle, even though they had some good shooters. Like, they needed that facilitator. They literally just said, yo, Durant, here's the ball. Everybody move out the fucking way.
Yeah.
It was literally one of those dudes. And I'm going to be honest, I blame, besides the injuries, I'm gonna talk to the staff. I'm gonna blame D'Antoni and Nash for this one.
Nash gets a lot of heat.
You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I even say that, is because I'm a firm believer, like, if you want somebody to heat up, you got to give him more touches. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe Harris, he shat the bed. They gave him all the touches he needed, and he shit the bed. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that Durant was that much of a heavy load, bro, like everybody else is cold. Like that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta really warm motherfuckers up. I like that they let Green warm up in that game. You know what I'm saying? When they did take that lead, you know what I'm saying? But like,
well, the thing was though, like people, everyone else didn't want to shoot the ball so much. Like,
do you feel like mentally they were scared? Like, yo, I don't want this weight on me.
I mean, nah, they probably just they like in terms of freaking Kuroko no Basket, they just trusted their ace. You know what I mean?
And that was their ace.
They just trusted their ace. Like Blake Griffin, he played well. Don't get me wrong, and he definitely took his fair share of shots, but he definitely passed up on quite a few that I think he should have shot. You know what I mean? Brown, I obviously that's not his role, but.
He's 50-50 to me, to be honest.
Yeah, like I think he could have been a little more assertive when he got the ball in certain spots.
What's that kid they got from the Euro League?
Oh, Mike James.
Mike James.
Boy, nice.
I fuck with him, yeah.
Yes, Mike James is nice.
Yeah, they gave him a 10-day contract, and then he went off that one, and they was like, yo, he's going to be here for the remainder of the series. I don't know where he's going next year, but he's nice.
They could have had him on the floor more in that last game, but I guess they wanted to just go with experience. They didn't want to risk him, you know, potentially coming up too short or making any crucial mistakes. But I respect the hell out of Harden for playing hurt. He played injured. You know what I mean? Like, that's something like players did back in the day. You know what I mean? Like back in the 90s.
That's hard.
You know what I mean? Iverson used to play hurt all the time.
Shit, them fingers was cooked, ankles was cooked.
Yeah, like Cats used to play hurt. And I respect Harden for playing hurt. He still definitely contributed to where he needed to and everything like that. They did the most they could, you know what I mean? And it just fell short, and credit to the Milwaukee Bucks because Giannis scored 40 points that game. He scores 30 points, they don't win that basketball.
I ain't gonna lie, B.
They don't win.
I think that was karma too on Harden's end, man.
Oh, yeah, probably. Most likely.
Because, I mean, for people that don't know, see, I just like, you know what? I'm not even really touching up on the drama aspect of things, but it's competitive. You know what I mean? So I have to bring shit up like this because I don't like stirring the pot. I'm not one of those guys. Mm-hmm. But I watch basketball and I saw what Harden said about my man Giannis. He said, "Oh, if I was athletic too, I'll freaking go and dunk all day. That's easy. I actually have to be."
But that's real shit.
That's real shit. That's real shit.
Though,
all right, but hold on.
I'm not. We ain't gonna walk around like
that's real shit.
Harden
That's real
is
shit.
definitely way more skilled than Giannis.
There's no denying that.
Yeah,
there's no denying that.
That's real shit. I ain't mad he said that. That's keeping it a buck. A lot of people felt that way.
It's true, but damn, look who he ended up facing though. And then he got injured in that series. Like, come on.
I'm not saying what Giannis does is easy. I'm just saying, like,
he's blessed. He's blessed.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he's blessed
with the height and the speed. Like, he worked on his body. Though. He worked on shit.
I woke up and I have execution. I'm blessed. It happens. Motherfuckers is just nice. Yeah. People just nice. Like, all right. So I'm gonna tell you what was the big. I'm gonna keep this shit a buck. Maybe people might disagree with me with this, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I feel like the biggest comparison between Kobe and Jordan. And mind you, I'm not even complaining stats or championships, but there was one key fact that this is random, okay? This is something that I just noticed. Kobe got smaller hands than Jordan. Mm-hmm. So I feel like in terms of control of the ball and where he really wanted to pick his spot, I feel like he was better. I mean, we already know Jordan is more efficient, but I feel like that was one thing that's how this is completely random.
Nah.
One of them, no? Floor's yours. That shit?
Yeah, that doesn't make a difference.
It don't?
Nah.
I always thought it did. I'm not gonna lie. He had shorter hands. All right. So what was the difference?
The efficiency. The efficiency.
Okay.
I mean, that's mainly what it was. Kobe was.
And we're not gonna speak on the fact that Jordan had a better team.
He was probably just as good.
Because remember, to quote the great Karl Malone, he said,
Kobe Bryant played with Shaquille O'Neal, my brother.
That's facts. Yeah. Listen. I wasn't disagreeing with that. I want to see what you say. Hold on. This is just what the folks are saying. He did have Shaq. He had the most dominant force, and he had fish sticks too. He was mean.
They have Rick Fox. My man, Kobe always got blessed with playing with some of the best big men in the game. Jordan had no big men. Who are we talking? Luke Longley?
Besides Horace Grant, before he did. Horace Grant was.
Yeah. And Horace at that time wasn't an all-star.
Did Horace get a ring with the Lakers? I know Karl Malone didn't. Absolutely not. But I'm saying.
I can't remember. Horace became all. He did his thing when he was on the Magics.
Yeah.
And he was good on the Bulls. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't an all-star.
No.
You know what I mean? Only other all-star Jordan was playing with was Scottie Pippen. And then, like, it's a controversial topic, but, like, Scottie Pippen was never an all-star when Jordan wasn't there. Just facts. Like, when Jordan left, when Scottie Pippen wasn't an all-star. So it's not to take away from Scottie, but a lot of people always want to, credit Scottie.
Scottie doesn't know.
They want to credit Scottie to, like, oh, Jordan didn't win till Scottie got there. Like, okay. You know what I mean? I'm gonna touch up on that, but like,
yo, talk to him, man. Did Jordan need Scottie?
Yo,
talk to him. No. You know what? That's a good question. Did Jordan need Scottie?
Jordan,
I don't know. In the last dance, he was talking about it like he did.
Listen. Jordan didn't need Scottie per se. He needed a higher caliber player to play alongside. Yes,
and that was Scottie.
In general, yeah, Scottie filled that role. You know what I mean? Like,
now, mind you, when Scottie had it, when Scottie had his bullshit issues with the Bulls, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Rodman took that spot. Jordan was doing just as good with Rodman than Pippen, so I can actually agree with you on that.
Right now,
I can agree with you on that.
I'm not going to say Scottie wasn't an integral part of the Chicago Bulls' success. Being a freaking great defender he was.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Great offensive player that he was. Scottie Pippen was godlike. Don't get it twisted. He was. But when people start saying Jordan, like, needed Scottie, it was like, okay, no, Jordan just needed some more help. That's like you playing Marvel 2 and you just using freaking
Magneto Dolo against Sencat, but you need that assist.
Like, oh, Magneto didn't do it until he got sidelined. I mean, yo, like, it's not fair. Like, you're going up against a whole team. Can I get an assist? Can I get something? Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, all I'm saying is Jordan, I'm going to say it.
Took that shit, man. Put it on the floor.
Michael Jordan made Scottie Pippen. Y'all can flame me. Y'all can talk to me.
But that's not a bad argument, though.
Michael Jordan made Scottie Pippen. I'm gonna give y'all some gems, right? Okay. Y'all can say, oh, Jordan didn't win until he got Scottie, right? That first three-peat, though, y'all tell me. Y'all Google those numbers. What was Scottie Pippen doing that first three-peat, the first championship? Scottie Pippen was not Scottie Pippen, the Hall of Famer, in those first ones. Now, I'm not saying he didn't make a difference. First three-peat, yeah. And I'm not going to say Scottie didn't make a difference. But the first time they won, Scottie wasn't like the Scottie Pippen that you guys are talking about. Scottie Pippen was more like a pretty decent role player type of Scottie Pippen. And Michael Jordan was always Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen didn't come out the box cooking up like he did. And then Scottie Pippen is also gonna be able to shine more because you got Michael Jordan on the floor, someone who demanded double teams. Single coverage, fuck out of here. No way. Jordan demanded double teams. Scottie Pippen was Scottie Pippen. Second three-peat, okay, you know what I mean? But first three-peat, Scottie was decent. And it was enough, it was the extra little that Jordan needed to get over these freaking super Hall of Fame teams back then. You know what I mean? That was freaking fucking them up.
I'm actually shocked the Utah Jazz don't got a chip. I actually thought they was capable of beating Jordan at least once.
The Jazz could have won. They could have won, but they would have.
Jordan had to read. He had a good read.
I mean, they still would have had to win another game. Jordan don't see game sevens. You know what I mean? That was still game 6 all in all. So it's not like his not like his series life was on the line. You know what I mean? He don't be in them situations.
What is all?
That is all.
Oh, no game 7s? I know a lot of guys that got into game 7s. Not Jordan though, huh?
I mean, we now my Knicks took him to game 7. Yeah, in conference finals and semis. Oh yeah,
we talking finals.
Yeah,
I'm talking finals here.
No.
No, and look, we could yo, fuck it, man. We're gonna make this podcast basketball. You know what? And we'll move on because listen, we actually have subjects to touch on the FGC, but it's just crazy when me and my man.
We're gonna get to it.
Listen, this is the No Frillz podcast. We talk about everything and anything. It is what it is. That's what we hear in the No Frillz podcast. So shout out to the Warriors that keep tuning in. You know what I mean? And I know I would say a good like 90% of our fan base loves some basketball. I think it's safe to say 90% of our fan base loves the basketball. Hell, and then the other 10 might be learning something and thinking too, man, these guys are really talking about Ben Simmons like he's trash. I mean, look, they probably look at some memes or some shit. But anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out to you because, listen, I respect your basketball IQ. You are a great baller yourself. I've actually seen you play. Did you like?
Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, no, I watched you play.
Appreciate you.
I watched you play. All right, so let me tell you a fucking story. This is crazy, right? So I always knew how good Chris was when he was younger, right? Moving forward, obviously, we're getting a little old. You know what I'm saying? We got some knee problems and shit like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Chris took me to this gym. I think it was in Long Island. Or is it Staten Island? It was Long Island.
Oh yeah, Long Island.
And this is right when I was on like on my
dawn shit.
This is when I was on my
you and Kev 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. run.
Yeah, you pulled this up early, right? So this is when we was on our super healthy shit pre-COVID, obviously before COVID, right? We was on our super healthy shit. So I just always found an excuse to try to go in the gym and just touch the rock, because at the end of the day, running up and down the court, that shit is a great fucking workout, especially when you just working up in your upper body, shooting the shots, posting up, shit is a good workout. You know what I'm saying? But so we was playing, you know what I mean, before like the teams. I don't know if there was like a program running around, but I remember there was like the young kids. Mm-hmm. They had like a little tournament going on or whatever the kids. We got dead. First and foremost, I got dead. Let me not say we. I got dead. Chris was like on the other side with the big boys. I'm on the side by myself shooting around and shit with Kev. And then the tournament come on. The little kids get on the court. Yo, get the fuck out the court. That shit was funny. So you know, so now I'm not looking at that game. I'm looking at where the big boys is playing, right? And Chris is literally the PG of the team, right? My man Chris is literally facilitating the ball, spreading everybody out. And this man is not selfish. He's literally not taking no shots. So I'm on the side like on some coach shit, and I'm just like, yo, your team is kind of booked with the shot. You don't want to take no shots? X was like, yo, B, I gotta warm him up somehow. He's talking to me like,
you gotta get people the ball first.
You gotta get people the ball. So, yo, man, I gotta people the ball. All of a sudden, Chris started taking shots. Motherfuckers is starting to catch up. It was too late. You know what I'm saying? They lost. And I think y'all won the next game, though.
Yeah.
Y'all won the next game.
Yeah.
The first game, y'all lost. But I saw you in your comfort zone. I'm like, wow, look at Chris being I never seen Chris play a full court game in my life. That was the first time. And I was just like, damn. And mind you, he had some butches on that shit. Motherfuckers is hood. If you know about a hood full court, then you know what I'm talking about. No refs, nothing. Motherfuckers is calling their own fouls. Come on, man. That's a foul, man. And motherfuckers hit the line and shit like that. Like, the shit was cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's the first time I seen like the leadership role from Chris. 'Cause I know Chris is a good leader, but like seeing him on a leader as a sportsman, you know what I'm saying? It was a different experience. Like, wow, I see why you like these point guards. Then it started making sense.
Oh yeah.
Why you like why you like Kyrie? Why you like all these players? You know what I'm saying? It started making sense. Like, oh, I see your taste in basketball. You like the facilitation.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
So like, it's just crazy. So like, I've known Chris for years. For 10 plus, basically, you know what I'm saying? It's the first time I'm seeing him play basketball. So when I'm seeing him in his comfort zone, it was pretty refreshing. I'm not gonna lie. And you're pretty good. So it's another thing basketball related, right? So I could say on my own, like, nobody's defending me. I got a pretty good shot. You know what I'm saying? But that's not saying much because I'm comfortable. Ain't nobody touching me. You know what I'm saying? And when I was coming up in junior varsity, I was always the power forward and center. You know what I mean? So I kind of took more of a shooter role when I stopped playing it, just because, you know, I'm not really playing serious no more, right? So I would play Chris, and like in a shootout or some shit, right? It was like, oh, you taking your time shooting that shit? He was like, nah. That's not how we work out here. And I was like, oh, I know, but I mean, we're not playing against that. I ain't trying to hear that shit. So fucking, he was literally, yo, when I pass you this ball, you better shoot that shit immediately. I was like, okay. So this when you got me, you fucking, shout out to Chris, man. This is right when I started like losing the weight and shit. He actually supported my my weight loss, which he still is, but obviously due to everything going on, we ain't going hard like that, but we going hard now. Let's put it like that. But that's no here, no there. But he took me to a private gym, right? And which was that? The one in the Bronx?
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. Right? He took me to a private gym, right? And shit has a pool, shit has everything, right? Like a gym, whatever. But we there for the ball. And now I couldn't go in as a guest because I wasn't a member. This guy literally paid for my membership, dude, for like a month. I thought it was like 2 months.
No, 6
months. Like, he got me an ID and all that shit. I think I've been there about like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he just paid it out of pocket, you know what I'm saying? He just hit me with the, you know what I mean? Don't worry about that shit. And we just went straight to the game. This shit was pretty cool, man. Then I started seeing your routines. I'm like, damn, you kind of psychotic, bro. What the fuck was that shit you was doing for the handles? You was bugging. You was like,
basic ball handling.
Yeah, you was bugging out. I was like, damn, is he getting ready for a game I don't know about? That's some shit. Yo, my man Chris was doing whirlwinds around his legs just to get his fucking handle up. He's not even bouncing the ball. He's just literally passing it through his legs. I'm like, I'm like, yo, bro, chill. It's not that serious. Like I was like, it's not that serious. But he's really like cutting wind and shit, just doing what he's doing. So I was just like, man, I'm really getting to know Chris Matrix on a different level, because obviously we connected on the gaming side, you know what I'm saying? You know, I seen that you a hustler, you know, and as we move forward, I was like, okay, I see what that $ clap shit mean. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know, I put a lot of shit together. With age, you ever notice when you have a friend that you know for a long time, but you ain't really get to know him until you really saw the shit he was comfortable with? That was the thing with me and Matrix, you know what I'm saying? It was one of those things where with time, I noticed the type of shit that he liked. You know what I mean? That's why when I fucking bumped into Kuroko's, I'm like, yo, bro, you gotta watch this shit.
Yeah.
And I already knew who you was gonna fucking like. Who's your favorite character in Kuroko's?
Akashi Seijuro.
Because he was hyped. Like, every episode that passed, like, yo, how many Daiki is on? I was like, bro, you ain't see shit yet, bro. I was like, keep watching. And then he bumped into fucking...
He came season 3. I had to wait 3 seasons to see this guy.
So, you know what I'm saying? But it's just pretty cool how just ball just pretty much... get you involved. But yeah, get you involved in terms of getting to know somebody. But yeah, man, you're a pretty good fucking point guard. And mind you, keep those knees a little healthy. I got something for you in the future. So.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely trying.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. So I mean, like right now, also like I'm in the process of becoming like an athletic trainer for basketball. Also,
nice.
Right?
I can see that for you.
So right now I'm training like a few of my boys, like Corey, my boy Adam.
Now, what are you training them for? Obviously, it's conditioning, but are you training them for
so we play
aspect?
So we played in a tournament, right? Like first, like probably like a month or two ago.
Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, I literally called Chris. He said, "Yo, I got a tournament." I was like, oh, "Okay."
Yeah,
I thought that was tournament. Poker, but no, that was basketball.
No. So everybody's out of shape, right? We all. First of all, that tournament had a lot of 20-year-olds in there. Our team was like 36 and up.
So y'all getting dusted.
Yo, it was bust ass because we was out of shape. It's crazy about basketball. As you get older, because you know the athletics and the ability that you had as you were younger is not there anymore. It forces you to play smarter and more efficient. It's so sick because I literally watched my game develop from more high flying, high octane. Like, okay, I'm just do it myself, or I'm moving to now like. Yo, man, like, why you gonna sit here and jump from over here to over there, man? Like, yo, hit that square, then hit that square. You know what I mean? Now we moving the ball more, trying to find easy shots. We're not putting the ball on the floor. Now we thinking real smart now and efficient. So it's crazy because when I was younger and I used to play old school people, you know, like you see them more like dribbling back to dribble, you know what I mean, like type that shit? Yeah, like no face up, no moves, stuff like that. They just doing the basics, moving the ball, taking some like hook type shots or taking smart shots, you know what I mean? And then you like, all right, like these dudes, they don't look that good, but they still kind of getting it done. And then like because we young, we was y'all was so focused on the flash.
Hell
yeah. I'm like, oh, this dude's 40. I'm like, yo, space, like he's not keeping up with me, you know what I mean? So now, so
you call them over and I got this.
Yeah.
One of those? Oh, man.
Now, I'm getting on the court and Cass is like, yo, I got old school. I was like, who? I'm like, yo, what?
Guarding you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, shit, I am old school now. I'm like, how old are you? He's like, 19, 21. I'm like, shit, I'm 38.
All right, hold on. So when they square out, right? So they do the, I got old school and they wave them off, right? Do they hold their shorts up? Do they take you serious? Because you know that's like a sign of respect, right? When they hold their shorts.
No. They take it serious, but like.
Then they held their shorts though.
They know the athleticism is coming. Like that's what they going for. They like, you know, give me space. Like let me burn this dude.
You ain't answer my question though. Did they hold the shorts up?
Nah, they hold the shorts.
Not to say. I mean that doesn't really say much.
But then like you know like the reverse is also like, so if they might have a mismatch on the perimeter because I'm not as fast as I used to be, right? So now the reverse though. Like now, I'm like this. I'm getting on a block. I notice I got like 50 pounds on dude, so it's light work. I'm like, They were like, damn, he's strong as shit, man. I'm like, yo, I'm not even pushing. Like, okay, that's just that grown man strength that you ain't.
This Kevin Durant body out of my fucking sight.
Yeah, so
you got a lot of mass.
It's crazy.
You back a motherfucker up.
It's crazy how it flips though as you get older. So we're in the tournament, like, you know, we get cooked. Because mainly because we out of shape. We still play smart basketball, you know what I mean? And we out of shape. The wind is not there because we fresh off the pandemic, you know what I mean? And when you older, you don't bounce back how you used to. Like young cats, they could be in a pandemic, not play ball for the year. They play like for 2 weeks and they
Fountain
back.
of youth.
Yeah, they back.
Yeah.
So we get our ass bust. I'm like, yo, let's get back on our workouts. You know what I mean? Like it ain't gonna come no more. Now we got to go earn it. So we've been getting out there. And the gyms is cold, so we've been going out to the park on some 7 a.m. shit. And I'm working with my boys, and like everybody's making some good progress. The wind is getting back up, you know what I mean? And we just been working hard. So we're probably gonna get in the next tournament, like either like late summer or early fall, and it's gonna be a whole different story. You know what I mean? So I'm using them as the like my template because I'm basically like designing the workouts and the skills. Nice. The skills package that we doing, so I'm using them as my template. So in the future, and also myself, so at least like they getting trained by somebody that can do everything that I'm asking of other people and how I'm developing people's games. You know what I mean? So I notice I just naturally have a passion to want to make people better at whatever they're doing. That's my passion in life. I always want to see people develop into their best person. That's why, like when I'm watching games, even when you're in the lab and you know how we start brainstorming, I'm like, yo, can you get this off of that? Can you get this off? Let's see how we can optimize that. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. I'm like, ooh.
So listen, man, just to touch up, just to add on something that's pretty cool to what he's talking about, just to add on it. So the reason why I learned frame data at an official level was because of Chris Matrix. People actually don't know that. The first time I even bumped into frame data was when I was doing those able mix-ups. So like every time I knock somebody down, I was like, yo, Yipes, if you do a tornado throw and you dash up and you do fucking a roll, I'm like, you like +6. I forgot what was the numbers he was hitting me. And I was and I was like, really? What's +6? He was like, oh, and he was like, he's being funny. He was like, like, so when he broke it down to me, I was like, oh, so they can't grab this or they can't do this. So I was like, that's why you noticed. Remember that shit I was doing with an able? Everybody mashed grab. Against able, right, in certain situations, because you could grab a command throw. I forgot which one was it. Was it EXB command throws?
You could grab the EX one because the EX one strikes.
Yes.
But the
regular one,
the regular one, you couldn't grab.
Yeah. All right, so I would do EX knowing on people that mashed, right? So I stopped doing EX because if you do the step kick, right, you do the step kick. I think it's +1, right? And throws was 3 frames in that game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was +1, 3 frames, and everybody was doing the motherfucking crouch tech, right? And your button, when you crouch tech, it was like 3 frames, right? It was always 3 frames. But I always grabbed them out of that mash every time. So I did forward kick, boom, that was +1, right? So that means that makes my 3 frame throw into a 2 frame. So I'm literally scooping them out the buttons. Like I'm literally seeing, for example, Jago. Shout out to Jago. This man was mashed potatoes and gravy on that crouching short. Every time I did fucking,
because he was using Bison and Bison crouching short was 3 frames and it had range. So
bro, I was scooping that shit. Because so what happened was I would do forward kick, right? Dash up right on the cancel, do command throw, but my shit was getting beat out. I just said command throw. I'm like, yo, counter hits. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But then I started doing step kick, dash up into regular grab. I was scooping the shit out of that. So that just opened a whole new gateway of mix-ups, because I'm like, oh, now you can't do this shit no more. Now I could really fucking counter hit you. Now I could really do this. Now I could really do that. But yeah, so just to touch up on it, basically, long story short, just to touch up on what Chris Matrix said, yes. My history of playing games, he always found a way to develop other people's gameplay. You know what I'm saying? In my case, it was the Storm. You know what I'm saying? Sentinel, when I started picking it up, like for real. You know what I mean? Like it was like little shit like that. Mind you, we ain't really have no frame data at the time when it came to Marvel 2, but it was just more so just seeing it and literally breaking it down. Like he literally would break it down to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I noticed my Storm was getting patient when he mentioned something. Yo, and I remember this shit like it was yesterday, bro. I'm playing Pungza for money. Right? This is when it was that Dead Silver's Decepticon shit, right? So I'm playing Pungza for money. Shout out to Mike Pungza. And he was a Santhrax Storm Sick cable player that ran away. Like, that motherfucker ran. He had some good-ass hit time, and it was weird, but it was good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, Pungza was doing some smart shit. You know what I mean? And then this is when I was playing MSP heavy. So like my Magneto was always strong, but my Storm was off. And there was a time where my Storm started getting more patient. And he literally pointed it out. He was like, oh, you slowing down with Storm. He was telling me, I was like, yeah, you know, I was losing a lot of life. I was like, yeah, you know, I was losing a lot of life trying to play it like Magneto and shit. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not how it works. And he was breaking it down to me, you know what I mean? But it's little things like that really makes a difference because, you know, when you're in the act of competing, sometimes you don't notice what you're doing because you're so flowchart with your game plan because you're so used to how you're playing that whatever works, you're just so comfortable with whatever fucking works. But you don't really notice the fucking bads of your gameplay because you're just so focused on what fucking works, right? So when he made me realize that I was playing more patient with Storm, it made me realize that I was winning more with the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, oh shit, I gotta run away with her.
Right.
I was like, oh, yeah. And to be told, that's what kind of opened more doors and be like, yo, I'm more patient. Then I started playing guys like Sanford, Eric. It's a little more breezy because I'm playing a little more on their pace now because I'm actually playing. But, you know, just to touch up on that, you're right, bro. You actually do develop a lot of people's game plans, man. And, you know, and it's crazy because sometimes when you deal with players that got egos, they're not going to listen to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just a general thing. Like, for example, like, this is no discredit to Chris. Like, I have better execution than him. You know what I'm saying? But this is no diss to him. But sometimes because you feel like you're that better than a person, you won't listen to somebody else. Because you're like, man, I got fucking better execution. I'm like, man, what the fuck? You ain't never won shit. Like, people will use that against you just to pretty much say that you're better than the person. You don't need the help, right? But dude, if you're fucking humble and they see something that you don't, man, like fucking listen, like really, like listen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dude, we said this story many a times. I wasn't supposed to win Caesar Beating's Redemption, man. Vidness, you might be a big fan of this podcast, so you probably say this story.
Peyton, shout out to
shout out to Peyton, dog. And you probably heard this in a story down the line of the podcast, but just to give you an example, I was down. This is Caesar Beating's Redemption. Just to give you a little bit of lore, right? I lost to Chris Schmidt in 2008. I didn't see that guy until 2 years later. It was to the point where we drove to Caesar's Beatings in 2009. This is when Justin played Daigo in that first attempt, and they ended up playing in the grand finals. But Marvel was still a big schmig at the time. So when I found out that Schmidt didn't enter the tournament, I didn't want to play. It was that real. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool, I could go for the brand, sure, but the win wouldn't feel right to me, wouldn't feel rich to me if Schmidt wasn't back. He didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not entering this tournament. Fuck it, I'm not. You know what I mean? And I remember you telling me, like, yo, bro, you don't want to enter. I'm like, bro, Schmidt's not here. He could tell you. I'm like, yo, Schmidt's not here, I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? That's how serious it was. That's how cerebral I wanted to kill somebody at the time. You know what I mean? Because it's cool. Yeah, I would have had people under my belt. Like, if I would have won the tournament, if I would have entered, because who knows if I would have won or lost. It does, you know what I'm saying? That's nor here nor there. But I'm not going to be happy if I beat Justin Sanford, Neo, Chunkster, and Schmidt's not there. No way. No way. You know what I'm saying? I'll put an asterisk on that win. That's how serious I was about it. You know what I'm saying? Then Schmidt came the next year, right? So let's pause this. So Schmidt came the next year, so now I'm serious, right? I play Vidness, and this motherfucker was playing what? Blackheart?
No, yeah.
Blackheart, Spiral, and what else? Sun,
yeah.
Right? Bro, I'm getting hit.
Spiral on point.
I'm getting hit, but mind you, Spiral wasn't really the biggest issue. That Sun assist was coming from all angles. Now, mind you, I'm thinking like, all right, so if I bait it here, if I cross over, she's not gonna follow. She was tracking my shit. She would land, and wherever I was at, she was on me like a magnet on a fridge. So I was like, yo, this shit is kind of annoying. Then obviously we got a character that could wear you down like Spiral and fucking Blackheart. Mind you, I have MSP. MSP doesn't have the greatest of neutral. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting clipped with everything, and I'm getting frustrated at that point, right? Yo, my man was literally sleeping. He thought it was free for me, right?
Yeah.
He wakes up when I'm down 2-0, right?
It's a 3 out of 5 tournament.
3 out of 5 tournament. I'm down 2-0, right? And I'm like reeling back, and Chris wakes up dead out of the nap. He goes, yo, what's going on here? I was like, yo, I'm down 2-0, B. He goes, well, he's picking? Yo, pick Matrix. He literally said it like that. I swear to God, hand up. He said, yo, pick Matrix. And he literally went back to sleep.
Yes.
He literally went back to sleep. I was like, all right, cool. I'm a lock in. First game, smoked him. Second game, smoked him. Third game, freer than air.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man. And then he woke up. He's like, yo, you won? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, good shit. He really went back to sleep. I don't know what the fuck you ate. You ate some shit.
Damn. Oh, I probably had Raisin Cane's because that's what those at Momo's.
He literally knocked the fuck out. I was like, wow. And that's just a testament to his mind because he was that confident because he already knew my ability.
Yeah.
Right. And how I thought. He literally just fine-tuned it right then and there. He's just like, yo, just pick Team Matrix. And mind you, at that time, I had pretty solid teams with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I was confident enough to pick Storm Sense Cyclops. You know what I mean? And Lord beholds, I win 3-2. And then Peyton always fucking blames it. Hey, Chris should have never said something, man. You know, I had you, man. Every time he sees me, like, yo, what's up, man? How's like, yo, I had you, man. Like, it's literally like, yo, man, how you been? You know what I'm saying? Oh, my condolences. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just catching up, shit like that, right? And he like, yo, I had you, man. He just brings it out of nowhere. And I was like, yeah, you had me. That's the question. But then I moved forward, and of course, and I went Schmidt. But that just goes to show you, if I lost that never would have happened.
Yeah,
Possibly.
It's crazy.
Possibly. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say never would have happened, because Schmidt did beat fucking Justin that tournament as well.
He did beat Justin 3-1.
So it was like, because Justin was the favorite to win just off of just seasonal. Like, even though we knew that Justin wasn't really playing the game, but he's just so godlike at just outthinking somebody. That shit didn't really matter, right? And he picked the counter MSP team, which is Storm Sense Psylocke, and Chris Schmidt won. You know what I'm saying? He taught me a thing or two of how to fight that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a testament to what you said. It's true. It's true.
Yo, speaking of that tournament, like just randomly, like freaking Desmond versus Chris Schmidt was
Yes, it was.
And it's crazy because before that tournament, you and Desmond were grinding with each other, hard body.
We played literally every day for 10 hours.
And y'all both said, I'll see you in the finals. And lo and behold, a tournament with Chris Schmidt, Justin Wong, Sanford Kelly, IFCYipeS in the same tournament. Desmond gets third place. That's
real shit. That's real shit. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's to the point where, I mean, Chris will tell you, like, me and Desmond was actually beefing for a little bit. Like, we would wake up in the morning, motherfuckers would wake up. I'm talking about, we wake up, we don't even brush our teeth, dog. We went straight to the Marvel 2. You know what I'm saying? And me and Desmond was talking shit to each other. Desmond be like, oh, word, you gonna take that risk? And I'm just like, wow, you gonna play that nutty? This is in the third. And then it'll get personal, right? I'll be like, yo, I better not see you lose to another MSP. You know what I'm saying? And he ran through every MSP except Schmidt. But I mean, if you watch the footage,
go check that footage out. Seasons Beating Redemption, Desmond versus Schmidt.
Big error on Desmond's side. He had a hit and he got a super jump, an accidental super jump cancel, and that shit just threw him all the way the fuck off. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, that it is what it is. But nah, just to touch up on that, Chris, it's true, B. So all right, so you said you're trying to be an athletic trainer, right? At what level do you want to take that? Like, are you just taking it on a small level, excuse me, or in terms of just who's around you, or do you actually see it like?
Whatever level I can get it at, right? So obviously, you want to start small. Like, so I kind of have like a thing for. Like, I know you don't really watch Naruto, right? But
I don't.
The thing is, like, all right, so Naruto, Jiraiya, right? That was Naruto Sensei. He takes more pleasure and pride in training somebody that doesn't have, like, a lot of talent. You know what I mean? Like, there's like geniuses, like Sasuke, Orochimaru, like they were the prodigies coming up.
Yeah.
And it's easy to take one of them under the wing because they already have, like,
what's necessary. Yeah.
So he liked to train people that didn't have that and help them develop that. I actually have like a passion for like taking ordinary people like that who don't have a lot of talent and don't have the main thing is they don't have that confidence.
Right.
Because people will think like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'll never be able to get this good, right? But I like to try to instill that confidence in people to be able to achieve and obtain the best potential that they have. So I'm not saying I can take a 2 to a 9. You know what I mean?
But you could damn well get him to a 6 or 7.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But if it's in his DNA to be a 6 or 7, we could get that 6 or 7 or be pretty damn close.
Right.
And right there, if you do anything, right? If you do anything in the world, even if you compete, and this is the main thing, like about competing or the way like I would lose or something like that. If I know I played my best, I didn't, I'm on my shit, and I lose, I'm perfectly fine because I know that I gave it the best I had. Like, I was at my capacity, and that just wasn't enough. So I can say, like, you know what? I left it all out there. Let me just go train, see if I can surpass my limit, right? So anybody else, like if you're training for something and you can get to a 7, but you only at a 4, don't accept that.
Don't.
You know what I mean? Don't accept that. That's when I feel like, okay, you lost. Like people, like if you think about the freaking the world record, okay, for 100 meters, Usain Bolt ran a 9.58. Crazy. Crazy. You know what I mean? But whoever got second right there, if that's your personal best, then that's a win for you. You can take that. You know what I mean? Like Usain Bolt works extremely hard.
I mean, he's OD, and that stride is crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm not I'm not gonna say he don't put in his work, right?
Yeah.
But he does have God-given talent when it comes to that, and being that he's 6'5", you know what I mean, and he still has that level of power. He has enough fast twitch fibers in his body.
Very
to where
unfortunate
he
they caught that cramp, but that's there.
Yeah, he can still move his legs that fast. You know what I mean? So like, God said, listen, you're just gonna be special. This is where you're gonna be. You know what I mean? So boom. But if I'm losing him, but I'm running my personal best, yes, I want to win, and I'm not gonna say I'm like gonna give up, but I'm like, you know what? I don't have to feel like a loser there.
Fact.
You know what I mean?
You gave it your all. At the end of the day, there's no regrets. You put it all out on the line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that you worked for, it came to fruition, and you seen it. Now obviously you got beat, sure, because at the end of the day, ain't no wins guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously if you got the right situation, the right God-given gifts, then you could be a little confident and say like, oh man, this guy might win this shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you going up against God-given gifts, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you might have those God-given gifts as well. But, if you see that you took it all the way to where you can take it at that time, you could definitely be happy with yourself, man.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
I've gotten numerous second places where, sure, I'll get salty right then and there, but I'll be like, you know what? I did my best. This is where my training led. Now it's time to lead and go to the next level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And video games, same thing. Sometimes you could be godlike with your character, right? You could be godlike with your character, but then you run into another godlike player, but
they're out there.
But the character might counter yours. So if you lose, you can say like, all right, you know what? I played the matchup to the best of my ability. Okay, I lost, but I don't have to feel like a loser. Now, maybe it's time I try to find a character that fights that matchup a little better. You know what I mean? Like, and I always think about that because I always think about like when freaking Jerron be having a run into Kev in Street Fighter 4.
Like, that sucks. Like,
that shit is ass, bro.
And just so you give you a little bit of clarity on that, like, so there was a point in time where Jerron was getting to that point where he was getting dominant.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter. I'm talking about, shout out to Jerron the Don Grayson.
He was grinding online.
That year, I think it was 2013. Was it 2013 or 20? No, I think it was 2015.
I forgot the rank online that he had for Bison. You remember the rank, the name of it? Was it Grandmaster Street Fighter 4?
Oh, he was a Grandmaster.
Yeah. He was a
Grandmaster. He's a Warlord right now at Street Fighter 5.
Okay, Warlord. That's the name. Okay.
So there was a year where he was just doing amazing. Like, even when I was playing a person, I'm like, God damn, Jerron, like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that good. Like, it was, I think it was 2015. I could be wrong. It was 2015 where he got top 8 in the CP3. He did fucking extraordinary. He got top 8 at final round. And at that time, that was actually very hard to fucking win or just to get into a top 8 because there was so much competition. Like, the level of competition that one room was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? On that top 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody came out to play. And this was a CPT. This was heavy CPT. Arturo got top 8 that year as well. You know, so I think he beat Snake Eyes actually that year. You know what I mean? But shout out to Snake Eyes, to my man Daryl. But yeah, like that year, like Jerron, like he made a staple, like that he really stepped his fucking shit up. You know what I'm saying? You see it. But then you just bump into that one matchup. So like in this case, in terms of locals, in terms of trying to win your locals, he always bumped into Kev. Everything is smooth sailing before that.
And we talk about Dominion if you guys don't know.
Yeah, Kev, yeah, Dominion. Everything was smooth sailing. Mind you, he's a Bison player, but then he bumps into Kevin Landon, and that shit just goes down the toilet. And mind you, this ain't shitting on his work ethic. Shout outs to Jerron for really going out there and stretching that. Even to have the balls to play Bison against Guile at that time, shit was fucking rough.
7-3 matchup.
Like, it's literally a 7-3. Even in tournament play. Like, in tournament play, it's supposed to be 2-0. Like, kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of balancing out the wins and losses, you're going to have to count rounds, not even games. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad it is. And Jerron, he always bumped into his brick wall, which was Dominion. And we're talking about on the New York level. You know what I'm saying? Like, final round, thank God he ain't bump into no fucking Guiles, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, the Guiles that was written in the history books, that was ridiculous. It was Knuckle doing Dominion at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I know Jerron was like, you know what, I'm good as long as I don't bump into these guys.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
it's crazy.
Yeah. And just to touch up, just to segue, it's cool that we was talking about sports and all that shit as we went along. But let's just touch up a little bit on the Intel World Open. Now, this is interesting for people that don't know. The Tokyo Olympics was supposed to happen officially last year, but due to the pandemic, it didn't go down, right? So basically, we're kind of like in a special situation where the Olympics are actually allowing video games to get involved, in which in this case, and please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, you know what I mean? But in this case, Rocket League and Street Fighter V are the two games that represents the gaming spectrum of the Olympics, right? So it's kind of crazy that I could kind of say what I can't say. Potentially, people are gonna get Olympic gold for playing Street Fighter V or Rocket League, so it's pretty cool. So right now on the East Coast, we actually have some of our best players qualified. So we have Punk and Idom, we have Arturo, and it was Rob TV, but Rob TV had to give it up for whatever reason. He gave it to Shine. I think Brian F as well is qualified. So we have some killers to actually get some Olympic gold. And mind you, we're going by conferences due to the fact that, online and, everything's still going on with the pandemic. So there's separated is the Eastern Conference and then the Western Conference. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly who's in the Western Conference. I know Samurai is one of them. I don't know who else it is. Forgive me. I wasn't paying attention. So please, on the comments, let me know, or on the Twitter, whatever the case is, when you see this episode. But long story short, it's just crazy how we're at that level, at that point now, where we have video games in the Olympics, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually different. Like, we was just talking about Usain Bolt in basketball. Obviously, we could talk about the Dream Team, whatever the case. Actually, I was going to touch up on that in terms of the NBA team that will represent the USA, right? So far, I think it's Draymond Green, Damian Lillard. I forgot who else is on it.
I think James Harden was with it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. But there's a couple of folks. But that's nor here nor there. It's crazy that we're bridging that gap from gaming to sports, because obviously sports is more on the physical side of things. Hell, there's a little bit of physicality when it comes to fighting games, but it's more in video games in general. But it's more so your hands, not your whole body. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to use your mind. You know what I'm saying? And to be very honest, we've said this many a times. I feel like fighting games would have to be the top 3 hardest genres to learn in order to be a professional. You know what I mean? Because not everybody can be a professional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Street Fighter, just in fighting games in general, you see the creme de la creme of who belongs there at the top. So when you see a Takedo, you're like, definitely. You know what I'm saying? When you see a Daigo, you're like, definitely. When you see a Punk, when you see, shout out to my man Rob TV, he's getting to that level. Big shout out to him. I'm just gonna give him his flowers. This guy was the random scrub. When you want to talk about a guy that came in with absolutely no expectations but himself in terms of getting better, Rob TV is definitely the definition of that. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to my man Roberto Televisión. This man started from shit to class. like he's at the top floor. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of those guys. So if you want to really learn about the guy, please just go look at him. And hell, he's becoming one hell of a host too as well. So I just like when I see people really hustle and get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because it motivates me. You know what I mean? There's no bullshit. There's no frills. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? It's just beautiful to really see them starting from the bottom to the top. Now, just to touch up on it. Do you agree with video games being part of the Olympics? Be honest with me, baby. There's no frills. Just be honest.
Absolutely.
Absolutely? Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, please, shed some light. How do you feel like that? Why you feel that way? Why you feel that way? Excuse me.
Well, when you say video games, are you speaking fighting games or video games in general?
I would say video games in general. The reason why I mention this is because, like, these are 2 games that they chose. There was a lot of games they could have chose. Now, mind you, maybe I'm lacking that knowledge. Maybe there is more video games, but what I'm seeing is just Rocket League and Street Fighter V. I don't know if there's like StarCraft or, and you would think that those would be the priority games, like StarCraft or like League of Legends or whatever the case is. I don't know if there was some money issues involved or whatever the case is. I don't know the politics behind that.
Right.
But the 2 games that I am seeing is Rocket League and Street Fighter V.
Right.
You know what I mean? Regardless of the situation, they're representing the gaming scene as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So
So I absolutely feel that video games should be part of the Olympics because, like I said, video games are in a way like a sport. So the athleticism part of it is the execution and the hand-eye coordination and the things that you have to do to execute certain commands and things like that. So it's good because a lot of games, like, even though they're easier to get into now, it's still not easy to obtain a certain level of execution and balance that with strategy,
right?
And to be able to compete on a high level, so to be able to do those things in conjunction with each other. So that alone, that takes skill. That's a technique on its own. So the fact that everybody just can't do it off rip, everybody does have an equal playing field, I believe. Excuse me. When it comes to training for it, you know what I mean? Because like there's a whole bunch of sports that are geared towards certain people who have a natural affinity to whatever they're doing. Like basketball naturally supports taller people. Thanks. You know what I mean? If you're doing freaking horseback riding, that's geared towards short people, short lightweight people.
The most, yes.
Exactly. So video games are not really like that, you know. So it's cool that, like I mentioned this before, that everybody has a fair shake. And like, okay, you can say, hey, I want to get into this. Okay, there's no difference between me and that guy over there. Just gonna be like, who wants it more, who's gonna work harder, and who's gonna apply their knowledge in the right situations and things like that, and it tests reaction, and it brings a different aspect and a different form of intelligence, and not only like mental intelligence but physical intelligence.
Agreed.
to the Olympics, and that other people will be able to appreciate, and it just continues to open up more doors, and it's gonna like definitely introduce more people to have at least an interest in learning what's really going on behind all those flashy moves and buttons getting pressed, right? Because the average person is gonna look and it's
the average person, you know, just to touch up on that. I want you to continue this, because look, that's the thing that we're kind of like in a crossroads with when it comes to fighting games and showing it to the world, right? Face value, you see it. All you see is people fighting, a health bar being depleted, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Our job, alongside everybody else in the FGC, is to explain this the best way as possible, whether it be through comedy, whether it be through analytical, whether it be through, you know, just in general, in terms of just avenues to explain what's going on. That's pretty much our job, to let people know what this culture is about. You know, and I, you know, I'm pretty sure Chris Matrix could agree to this. We hold the very big responsibility. You know, we're one of the few that hold, in my opinion, that very big responsibility on explaining to the folks what it is that they're watching. Now, obviously, we do it more on the comedic end, but don't get it twisted. We could get analytical. You know what I'm saying? And that's because we choose to go the route that we choose to, because we feel like that is a way to get people involved. Right. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you want to do with it, whether it be on the analytical side or on the funny side, we have a job to reel people in and literally catch the casual viewer turn into the more experienced viewer. You know what I'm saying? That's my goal ultimately. You know, that's Chris Matrix's goal ultimately. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure a lot of pillars, a lot of people that are involved with the FGC, period. You don't need no status. You know what I'm saying? But that is our job, to explain to the casual viewer what the hell is going on. Because honestly, again, I say this with the utmost respect. You know what I'm saying? Fighting games, in my opinion, might be the hardest genre to learn. Now, there's been a lot of flack on the Twitter. I've seen a lot of people step in from other communities like, nah, man, these shooters, nah, man, these MOBAs, you have no idea. Oh, I know. And you know why? Because this is pretty cool, because I could speak on both ends of the spectrum, from the fighting games to the shooting games. You know what I'm saying? I can literally let you know that they both hard on their own right. Like it's both difficult. They're both difficult in their own right. You need certain skills on one game. The other one, you need certain skills for the other. But what makes this where everybody can meet in the middle and actually relate to it is because what you can relate to it is the dedication. You just need to dedicate and really do the homework. You know what I'm saying? Because you just can't step in and be like, oh man, I'm gonna shoot everybody in Warzone. No, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? You just can't come in and be like, oh, punk, I could come in and smoke him, no problem. Because people do feel that way. They feel like they could just come in and learn those fighting. It's like, oh, this guy, this ain't shit. You know why? Because fighting games is easy. No. Not the fucking case. If that was the case, we would have, I guess, 1 million users come into a tournament, right? If that was the case, right? If it was fucking easy. Because look, this is not to diss no other communities. This is just what I'm seeing from face value. When I see League of Legends, that's an easy entry game, right? Obviously, you need the aspect of teamwork. Obviously, you need to know what's going on with the characters, your job, your role, whatever the case is, and then you go from there. But the difference is it's a team-based game, so you have to rely on other people. Fighting games, you have to rely on yourself. You know what I mean? And this is a broken freaking record when it comes to this story and this comparison, right? But this is the fucking truth. If you're by yourself, that means you have to do all the homework. You have to know in terms of matchups, everything literal to the T. You have to learn in fighting games. Not to say that's not the case with other games, but you have to rely on other people in order for them to match that knowledge with you. You know what I'm saying? Fighting games, you're on your fucking own.
It's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like Ruby, for example, he's the director of BTM. You know what I'm saying? And No Frillz podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that guy. So when I tell him, right, I'm like, yo, he plays Street Fighter. It's a good entry-level game, right? But he still feels like it's a little difficult. But you know what? That's his comfort zone. He could play that game, right? As he's learning. I said, yo, learn some Guilty Gear. He said, bro, that shit look kind of hard. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, I think about it. I'm like, okay, why is this hard for you? You know what I mean? It's a totally different game. Movement all over the place. You got to know when to pick your spots. It's very different from Street Fighter. So I could relate with him. And I'm like, okay, I can understand why this is tough for you. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case with all games, man. Like,
right.
That's the thing. That's why I can always push and be like, yo, fighting games is hard. And you know what? And people can hit you with that bullshit. Well, then why don't you go pro in shooters? I'm like, well, I need a team. And I got to know that they're just as serious as me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case with fighting games. That's why I feel like fighting games is in a different plateau, a different level of learning curve when it comes to competitive.
Right. And also you have to find a way to go learn matchups. You know what I mean? Like, if you live in a certain location and, you know, like the competent players in that place that you're playing only play a handful of characters, how are you gonna get that matchup experience? Facts. You know what I mean?
Shit is different, man.
Either you start playing the character so you learn what they can do, what's safe, what's not safe, and even then you still gotta fight against it on a proficient level, or you have to go seek out like a good freaking blank player to freaking learn a matchup or something like that. So
yo, let me get anime with this shit.
It's crazy.
Not to cut you off. Imagine us, right, without no internet, right? Be like, man, there's this Makoto player that's ridiculous. Oh man, everybody's playing Makoto, but I gotta fight the Makoto to actually learn the matchup. So imagine trying to traverse and find that one Makoto. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's what it was with swordsmen back in the day, with samurais and shit like that. When they was learning how to freaking sharpen a sword, they had to go to a certain master at a certain location at a certain mountain. Motherfuckers was fucking traveling for months just to find that one guy. You know what I'm saying? Now we actually have the opportunity. This is random, but you know, I'm just throwing it out there just because I've been watching a lot of anime recently. So you know what I'm saying? I've been watching a lot of anime as of recent. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of trying to like bridge the gap in terms of what I'm talking about. But yeah. Now we have the opportunity to actually learn these matchups. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what we're trying to say is it's really not easy. It's not. It's really not.
It's not. It's not. And not only do you have to go learn the matchup, right? But you take the time to learn the matchup, and you might come to learn that the matchup is bad, right? But so before you like really deem a matchup bad, people really dive deep into the matchup and make sure that you're doing everything that you possibly can, right? Because a lot of people will be complaining about a matchup and they're missing a key point of something that they could be doing in the matchup to make it better. You know what I mean? And then you might not know that, and then like you see somebody else, like overseas or something, you're like, damn, he's winning this matchup. How is he winning this matchup? You know what I mean? So dive deep into your matchup before you just deem it bad just because you're having trouble beating somebody with it. Dive deep, and that takes time, and that takes a certain level of analyzation of your own game. Yeah, you know, to decipher when it's bad or when it's you. So then that might take some time, and by the time you freaking hit that, you might, okay, damn, I've been I've been playing this character for a month. You know, I'm pretty comfortable with this character. I feel one with the character. I'm optimal. You know, the execution is there. I can pull off everything. I still can't win this matchup. I dive deep. I tested this, tested that. I realized that, you know, I can only do such and such in these situations where they have more freedom. Okay, I deem that this matchup is bad. What's your answer? You got to go find another character, another team, whatever. That's gonna make that a little easier for you, because if you might be a master of your character and you might be able to beat somebody that's good with this character. But if you run into another master with this character, you might be up shit's creek. You know what I mean? So now you're gonna have to have a secondary that you could play on a proficient enough level that can compete with this master of this character. So that also takes time and research and dedication, and you have to put that in. And you know what I mean? Like, that's, like he said, that's not easy.
Nah.
You know why? Because it's all on you.
Yep.
Which is why it was so important that back in the days, you know what I mean, like we had Empire Arcadia, everybody, you know, kind of came together to continuously uplift each other, you know what I mean,
and
to make each other better.
That's
like who you playing with, that's who's gonna be making you better. Y'all have to make each other better. Y'all gotta keep pushing each other to certain limits. So that's why it's good for, you know, people to group up and train. You know what I mean? It's great to have rivals. You know what I mean? It's great. It's healthy. Man. But at the same time, like, you got to use that rival to help you get better. Especially if you starting to feel like you hit a plateau, you got to start to expand your horizons. And like he said, that's not easy.
It's not, man.
So when you see people doing it and it looks easy, that's where true skill is. When you're doing something and it's looking easy to the outside other person, that's how you know that you put in a certain amount of work and effort, and it's starting to reflect. Because now it's looking like, oh damn, he just cooking this shit. For example, you watch Yipes playing against Santhraxes. The way he plays, it looks easy. It looks like he's just cooking them. He's getting it. He's finding, he knows where to hit him.
That was so much fucking trial and error.
He's getting the snap. He's killing Cap. He's getting his maul on, right? It's looking real free. All I gotta do is hit him, snap, guard break, kill, boom, right? Granted, but you didn't see how many times he got capped out for years.
Shit.
Got unblockable.
Man, you know how many
years.
third places I seen, bro?
Yeah, got DAC for years before he got proficient enough with that to be able to make it look like, oh, you know, it's bad, and vice versa for anybody. So that's why, you know, it's great to have, especially fighting in the Olympics. And then if you have commentators that are, you know, proficient enough and understand the game in question that's going on, they can really try to open things up for the people to understand what's going on. So they're not just seeing punch, kick, fireball, uppercut. You know what I mean? Like they're saying, like, why is this punch connecting so much? Because he's pushing this punch at the right time and he's pushing this button at the wrong time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's and then people go, well, what's the right time? What's the wrong time? Well, we have something called frame data. Moves have startup, recovery. And these are all things that you have to keep in mind. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to just swing a button aimlessly. You're not going to swing a fierce at the same time somebody swings a jab up close, because the jab is faster.
Just to touch up on what you're saying. The number one skill I feel like in fighting games is acceptance. Right? And I'm going to explain why. There's a lot of players out there, even professional, that you know, some of your household favorites, that they run off of pride. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say no names. If you really a fan of the FGC, you know the people I'm talking about to the certain level that I'm talking about, right? But the one thing to elevate in fighting games is acceptance. You have to accept that you're trash in certain areas. Mm-hmm. You got to accept that it wasn't enough in certain areas. You have to fucking accept it. Because if you don't accept it, what's going to happen is you're going to be in the same loop of shit over and over and over again, literally losing to the same shit only because you couldn't accept the fact that you're either losing to it on an egotistical level, or you just couldn't believe that you was getting hit with certain shit, or you just feel like your level of knowledge was just so greater than the other person that it wasn't supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nah, cut all that shit out your fucking diet, because at the end of the day, it's all about acceptance. For example, let me throw my dusty ass in the fray. When I started playing MSP, this is Magstone Solak, I was getting my shit lamed out every fucking tournament. And I was getting to the point, I was getting so tight about it, I was getting so frustrated about it, to the point where I was telling myself, nah, there's no way I'm losing this. There's no way I'm losing this weight. No, I got the offensive prowess for this. I'm supposed to hit him and kill him. But the thing that I wasn't accepting was that I was impatient. When I started accepting the fact that I was impatient, I started blooming. It wasn't an easy bloom. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't getting enough sun and water. I wasn't. But I literally started accepting the fact that I was impatient. And because I accepted that, I started getting better and better and better. It didn't even matter how long it took. I never really looked at the time, because at the end of the day, if you're dedicated to something, you don't have to worry about time. And that's just facts. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, my problem was the acceptance part. You know what I'm saying? And once I accepted my failures, I started blooming. I started getting more water and sun. You know what I'm saying? If you will. And I prospered. I wasn't the most decorated champion, but I got my championships. You know what I'm saying? But that's off of hard work, dedication, and acceptance. So a lot of people talk about hard work and dedication. Yeah, you could put the acceptance into that vocabulary, but I feel like that's in its own definition. You know what I'm saying? You got hard work and dedication, acceptance. You know what I'm saying? Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Can you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
100%.
Absolutely, I can agree with that. And it when you start to really just look at things like that, then like learning new games, especially learning with a good training partner, it just changes everything. It just changes everything, because then y'all can help each other constructively and not pridefully, right? If you training with somebody, y'all trying to get better, and you know, like, okay, like, yeah, I'm beating this guy, I'm cooking him. He asks me like, okay, what am I doing wrong, or something like that, and you just say such and such, such and such and such, but you know, like, you're kind of like withholding like some key information and stuff like that. You're not gonna grow, because if he doesn't learn how to stop whatever you're doing, you're not gonna learn how to stop somebody that knows how to stop what you're doing. So that's how you constantly grow. Once I have something, if I have a nice definitive strategy and I'm able to overcome something, I'm like, yo, start doing this. You know, I'm doing this to you here because I know this. Start doing this to me here, so I'm forced to think outside the box, so I don't get stuck in the flow chart and then get caught off guard with somebody that you know plays a little different or knows how to stop something I'm doing, and then I'm shocked, then I'm stuck at a cross. Like, help me evolve my game too. You know what I mean? So you should want like your training partners to get better, and you know, and help you learn. You know, like when they ask you to start playing Quan Chi. You know what I mean? So they can learn the matchup. That's good shit. That's the type of training you should, like, you know, y'all see a character running them up. Yo, Yipes, you know, you got the execution, you got the mentality.
That's really literally what happened. So check this out, just to touch up on it. Let me wing on that. So for example, CD Jr. and his brothers, well, CD Manny. Shout out to my man Manny. Shout outs to Maxter. Shout outs to Robin. The CD brothers, the crazy Dominicans. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? They are obviously legends in the MK period. You know what I mean? MK9 was definitely their strong point. Going into MKX, it was a different atmosphere, right? When it came to everything. So Quan Chi was literally one of those dominant characters where he hit you, you're fucking done. And they was bumping into that shit a lot. So what they did, they accepted the fact that they was getting smoked by that shit. They swallowed their pride and they literally hollered at me. Literally, personally, I wasn't even planning to play the character, dog. I was cool with my Jax, Cassie Cage. I was cool. They said, yo, Yipes, we need you to learn this character because we need to learn how to fight this shit. I literally went to the lab for like a good half a month. Got nice with the character, went back to their household, started smoking them with that shit. You know what I mean? But then what made it so beautiful was every Quan Chi that they bumped into after that, they was having an easier time. Because they got that experience. You know what I'm saying? But that only came about because of acceptance. Acceptance is very important. They say, yo, bro, I can't do this shit. We need to learn how to fight this character. We need to holler at Yipes. And at the time, that's when, you know, we're in the circle of shit. You know what I'm saying? We was like, yo, Yipes, we need you to learn Quan Chi. And I was like, fuck it, I got you guys. And there you have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Literally just simple things like communication can literally go a long way. You know what I mean? Like that's the beautiful thing about fighting games, man. It's just so many ways you can actually train yourself to get better. Like literally, you can actually go the physical route too. Like hell, when I was going on the gym tip heavy, I was seeing things a lot more clearer in terms of reacting to things because I'm just more healthier mentally. You know what I'm
your brain is working at a more efficient level.
Yeah, so like literally
increased
little
blood
things
flow,
like that.
everything like that. You eating right.
Right. It's more to it than just pressing buttons. That's what's so cool about fighting games, and what's so ill is that the potential is limitless. Like we don't know what ceiling we hitting in terms of how we can improve a player. Like Tokido, for example, he literally jogs in place before his matches just to get his blood flow going, just so his brain could work at a more efficient level. That's why you see him doing all that crazy shit. People think it's some anime troll shit. Oh my God, Tokido's in place running. Obviously, real dudes know what's going on, but the majority's like, oh man, this guy's trolling. No, he's not trolling. He's literally there, literally trying to get his blood flow going. You know what I'm saying? Just so he could think at an optimal level, which is pretty fucking cool. That is something that needs to be represented in fighting games. Because remember, what people see overall is just fucking guys in the basement, guys and gals in the basement, just being all fucking nerdy and shit. All they doing is just gaining weight and fucking play video games. Now, obviously, if you stay stationary with anything that you do, it has nothing to do with video games.
Exactly.
Anything that you do stationary, you're gonna gain the fucking weight. You know what I'm saying? But there is ways to optimize even that, which is fucking so beautiful about fighting games, man. That's why I'm here. That's why we're here. You know what I mean? To make sure that we can help FGC flourish to the level that it needs to be flourished at.
That's
you know
right. That's right.
It's fucking dope.
So like it's great to have these in the Olympics. It's great that
Olympics,
there's a big
dog.
pie. You know what I mean? Like you see that pie, you see that pot right there.
That's 500K. Now I'm trying to figure out, is that
that's-
split between both of the games? So it's 250, Rocket League,
Right.
Street Fighter, or it's like 500K each. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But
it's also cool because it gives like people that are not non-athletes a chance to display that they're great at something.
shit, they athletes
and
to
they
me.
get and they get the type of recognition, because we watch athletes because athletes are so cool, because generally they're like superheroes to us, right? We
Facts.
as people we watch superheroes because superheroes can do things we can't. They can do extraordinary things. They can fly. They have super strength, super speed. You know what I mean? So they can do things we can't, and we admire that. And athletes are just that on a lesser degree. They can do things that we can do, but they can do it on a much higher scale and level, and at an efficiency that we unfortunately can't replicate sometimes because we don't have that God-given natural talent or athletic ability or size or whatever it is. So we enjoy watching the best of the best physically compete against each other, because it's saying like, wow, look what he can do, like what we can't do. So it's cool because the people that can't do, if they can play video games or a fighting game or anything like that, they can be on there and now saying, listen, hey, I may not be able to dunk a basketball, I may not be able to throw a football for 40 yards, you know what I mean? I may not be able to freaking go 12 rounds in the ring, I may not be able to run 100 meters in 10 seconds, but I could do this dragon punch and nail you every time you fucking jump. You know what I mean?
Hard work and dedication.
Hell yeah.
That's what it's about. If there's one thing about that you see now, and you know what's beautiful, so obviously we come from the old school, right? More him than me, you know what I mean? But I'm about a year off, right?
Yeah.
About a year off, right? So nothing too crazy.
You back there too. You definitely back there.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Because now people see me. You know what's crazy? Rob TV hollers at me. He goes, yo, what's up, OG? I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
And literally he ends all the sentences. Yo, you want to eat, OG?
My man.
Yo, you want to go? Every time, I'm like, damn.
If you played in a tournament and you had to stand up to play, you were an OG.
I was standing up to play.
Exactly.
I was standing up to play, man. But the beautiful thing about it is, the point that I was trying to make is, a lot of OGs probably won't accept this shit. Competition now is better in terms of numbers. However, the games are easier to learn. And this is for another topic, you know what I mean? But that's here nor there. The point is to get people to that competitive level. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. No matter how easy the game is, no matter how hard the game is, man, it doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, we gotta grow the pool of the games. You know what I'm saying? Of every game that comes up, we got to take advantage. For example, right? Let me tell you in terms of training, right? Before we close this out, Guilty Gear Strive came out, right? Last Guilty Gear I played before that was Guilty Gear XX. Dog, I am trash in Strive. Like it's hard for me to admit it. A little ego in there. It's hard for me to admit, like, damn, I am trash. Like I was playing CD Junior now, and mind you, in those type of games, I feel like I'm better than him in those type of games. You know what I mean? He could probably reach you. Like, yo, anything that has to do with rush down heavy like that in terms of air dashing and moving around, I have that experience for that. But Guilty Gear is a different game. You know what I'm saying? That dude was fucking me up for hours. I'm getting smoked. I'm like, damn, what is it that I'm doing wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I learned the defensive aspect or whatever the case is. But point is, the acceptance kicked in. I am fucking trash at Guilty Gear Strive. I'm trash. It is what it is. Sanitation, Tuesday morning. I'm there. Right? But because I'm realizing that I'm trash is what gives me more that hunger and that more that interest. Like, yo, why the fuck am I trash?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I move forward from there. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. When it comes to anything in life, you feel me? I mean, we're talking about fighting games and sports. I mean, hell, I didn't even think we was gonna stretch that NBA shit, to be honest. But we love basketball, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. A No Frillz podcast. We can literally talk about everything and anything on the spot. And we could really have some real discussions about it. Not even to fucking just rub it off or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man. This shit is fucking beautiful where we at, man. One thing that I want to touch up on the FGC, I'm very proud of the FGC as a whole right now. Even after the pandemic hit, everybody's still involved and definitely trying to find more ways and avenues and more portals to get everything involved. You know what I'm saying? From the fighting games. When it comes to music, when it comes to acting, everybody is paying attention to the FGC because everybody knows where those portals lead and everybody knows how serious the competition is right now. Like, the pool is great. Like, compared to back then, obviously we didn't have the interest that we have now, right? But in our defense, we had that concentrated competition, no matter what was the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Now it's more so there's more people that are involved, but you still get to see the level of concentrated of competition. You're like, yeah, we got, you know, Fulanito from freaking Maryland, or we got this dude from Virginia that's pretty godlike, but then you pull them in those pool of sharks, you might not even hear about those guys ever getting in the freaking bracket because there's that many fucking killers. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And that is an acceptance that people gotta accept in the FGC, that you're gonna bump into killers. Well, you a killer? Well, that guy's a killer too. So now what you gonna do about it to edge him out when you bump into him in those tournaments? And that's what's beautiful about fighting games. You know, and that's gonna be my ending statement. Okay. So how do you feel, brother? You have anything to say before we close this out? We've been yapping about 2 hours, I feel like.
Yeah, I do actually. I got a question for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Go for it, brother. Shoot it.
So, okay. So I know you've watched your fair share of 90s black sitcoms.
Yes, I have.
Okay. So I'm just going to read off a couple. I want you to just say yes or no if you watched it. All right? Okay. Family Matters.
Yes.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes.
Jamie Foxx Show.
Yes.
Wayans Brothers.
Absolutely.
Martin.
Yes.
The Parenthood.
You know, I see The Parenthood. I don't remember too much of it, but I did see that.
Okay.
I did see Parenthood, yes.
The Cosby Show.
Absolutely. But I was wild young.
Okay. That's fair.
So I'm not going to remember too much.
No. No sweat. A Different World.
Ooh. Before when it went to college?
A Different World was college.
No, there wasn't a college before.
Hillman. Yeah, it was always college.
It was always college? See, that's how young I was.
Okay, no sweat.
But I did see it. Okay. I did.
Okay. Let me just,
I'm thinking about Saved by the Bell.
No, yeah, that's it.
That's what I was thinking. Black sitcom. That's what I was thinking. It's cool. Absolutely not.
I love Saved by the Bell. By the way,
AC Slater. I'm gonna give you that pass.
Excuse me. Sister.
Absolutely.
Okay. Smart Guy.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that.
Okay. Guys, I'm not naming all of them. I'm just naming some that stood out.
We're getting to a point here, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Living Single.
Yes. I love Queen Latifah. Shout out to the Queen.
Steve Harvey.
Yes. Bullet Head. Recipes.
The Parkers.
Damn, so I watched it. I didn't go. It was on BT at one point.
Yeah.
But I don't remember watching it like off the get. So I'm gonna have this. It's a 50-50. I'm gonna say no. I've seen Parkers, but I never really seen it.
Okay, no sweat. Okay. All right. So my question to you, and I want you to take some time to think about it.
Okay, holla at me.
Don't just blurt out your answer. I want you to go through.
I'm not.
And if you gotta ask me the shows again, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Okay, talk to me.
I want your top 3. Listen. Top 3.
Okay.
From worst to best.
Damn. Only 3?
I want your top 3 worst to best females. from all those shows.
Dog, I'm not even gonna remember all the names. I'm gonna be honest. So top 3 were on the, what in terms of females are like the sexiest or
the ones that you like the most.
I mean, I did have some young crushes when I was younger.
Yeah. Oh, we all did, baby. We all did.
All right. So all right. So we took it the worst to best in terms on the female side, not on the best shows, just the female side.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be very honest with you, bro. I had no crushes.
Okay.
On the
But I'm sure you had some that you admired.
All right. Let's start with Family Matters.
Well,
Who was the? Wait.
They don't have to be from one show. I'm like just
listen. I'm gonna break it down.
Okay, talk to me about Family Matters.
All right, so
we got Laura Winslow.
Who was that girl that was dating Urkel that was always jealous of Laura Winslow?
Myra Monkhouse.
Myra, okay.
Yeah, and shout out, she passed away too a long time ago.
I did have a thing for Myra when I was young.
Okay.
The only thing that freaked me out was the way she was bulging her eyes. Them eyes was kind of crazy. But other than that, she was smoking. And mind you, this is me being young coming up. You know what I mean? Finding myself and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So baby, if you're watching, this is back in the day, okay? I thought it out there. All right. I will say Myra, right?
Yeah.
You actually might not believe this when I get to number 1.
That's okay. Number 3. Okay.
That is number 3.
Okay.
Right. Number 2, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
What was the airheaded one's name? I forgot.
Hillary Banks.
Hillary Banks. God damn, thank you.
Hillary Banks.
I always thought she was pretty cute.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, Hillary Banks was pretty fire.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you what's number 1, and this came with age, okay? Queen Latifah living single. Now, I'm going to tell you why.
Shout out to the Queen.
Shout out to Queen Latifah. I'm going to tell you why. I love all natural. You feel me? And that's just one aspect. The other, she's a spitter. Amazing poet. Right? And she just made you feel like you could be yourself, you know? Like she wasn't superficial. She wasn't fucking about all that high and mighty shit. You know what I'm saying? She was just about living life, surviving how you need to survive, and just loving the good things about life. And she was funny. I'm about that funny shit. I'm a fucking clown, okay?
Oh, yes.
So Queen Latifah is number 1 to me because not only is she serious about what she does, but the fact that she was that funny. Now, I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a couple of folks saying, man, she wasn't that funny, whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. But I fuck with Queen Latifah. Now, I'll give you a bonus.
Okay.
I always thought Pam was harder than Martin.
Ooh, Tashina Arnold.
Over Gina, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll give you the bonus. I always thought Pam was hotter than Gina.
Yeah.
Can you respect that?
I can respect that.
Now, mind you, me coming up, now check this out, though, right? Let me tell you how OG motherfuckers was around me, right? So my brother used to come through with some people from the hood and shit. And, you know, we there. My mom do that good-ass cooking. My grandma do that good-ass cooking. So we watching around, you know what I'm saying? We around the table and we had some TV playing, right? We would watch Martin. You know what I'm saying? The one thing that people were shitting on Pam.
Oh, gosh.
Was the fact that she had a little bit of...
the mustache.
Yeah, she had a little bit of mustache. And mind you, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I feel like naturally all women's gonna have a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
She had a little bit of fuzz under the schnoz.
She had a little bit of fuzz, you know what I'm saying? But that's what the homies was shitting on her for. And I'm like, nah, B. Pam was hot. But there it is, brother.
Ooh.
There it is, brother. Now,
okay.
Let me get your top 3, though.
Okay.
And you married.
Okay. I wasn't married in the 90s.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Shoot. I was throwing it out there. Yeah. Sorry if you're watching.
I have no.
Don't be jealous.
I feel no type of way.
You look better than all of them, sorry.
Shoot.
Go ahead.
So you might not know her. So you can actually Google this. Okay.
Let's go. That's all we have this here for. Shout out to Aces.
So my number 3.
All right. Let me see. Hold on. Let me Google real quick.
She's from the Parkers.
The Parkers. Okay. What's her name?
Her name on the show was Stevie Allison.
From the Parkers.
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me see this.
Played by Jenna Von Oy. Snowflake. Yes.
Her.
Yes. Yeah, she was also Six from Blossom.
She has wild makeup here, by the way.
Let me tell you why.
What show this was? The Parkers?
The Parkers.
Hold on. Oh, wait a minute.
Let me show you something real quick.
On the park. Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Gotta spin it around now.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's why.
I got you. On the Parkers. Let me see. I need to see footage as she's acting. So let's go here. Okay. Yo, she looked paler than the moon, kid. Like
Okay, so the thing was, it's because she had a booty like a sister. Yes. Jenna Von Oy
has
a booty like a sister.
Okay.
Snowflake on the Parkers I was like, oh wow. So she always got me.
So the reason why I'm gonna be honest with you. At the time, I was a big prankster, and it's funny because I have a big dome as well. Her forehead is crazy, B.
Oh yeah, it is.
That shit was crazy.
But she looked like hats a lot.
Yes, she did. Oh, we noticed. She looked like that forehead could hammer some nails on the floor, son. That shit look kind of crazy. Okay, so that's your number 3. Number 2.
Oof. Okay. It's tough. Okay.
Man, that real, huh?
Yeah, because okay.
Give me.
Okay.
Who is it?
From the it's gonna be crazy.
Okay.
From the Parenthood.
Okay.
With Robert Townsend.
Parenthood.
From the Parenthood.
I know who you're talking about. Parenthood. What's her name?
The daughter. Her name was Zaria.
Zaria?
Yep. She was played by, I be forgetting the names.
Oh,
yeah. When I was younger.
What's her name? What's her name as an actor?
I got you.
I think everybody liked that. I ain't gonna lie. I forgot about her.
I got you.
Nice smile.
Reagan Gomez Preston.
What's her name?
Reagan Gomez Preston.
Reagan. Let me see. Hopefully I'm spelling it. Reagan
Gomez Preston.
Gomez.
Now I don't know. She might have fell off by now, but when I was younger, she was older than me too.
That's her now.
Yeah, she's okay. I mean, when you're a kid though, beauty is OD.
It's different. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
You're just getting exposed to it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you, yeah, for sure, absolutely.
So she was always my like I had a crazy crush on her. Now for my number 1.
Talk to me. Good fucking question.
Damn.
I watched a lot of black sitcoms.
Oh, it's tough.
Shit.
It's so tough.
You know what? You know what's crazy? I feel like the most lowest tier out of all of them. This is no disrespect to any woman with beauty. Okay. This is not saying that they're ass, but I had Francie at the lowest. No fucking way. That's your number 1.
She's my honorable mention.
Oh,
I have two honorable mentions.
Okay. All right.
My list is a little weird. Hey, listen,
right? Man. We all unique.
She's definitely one of my honorable mentions.
We're all unique.
Only because I wanted Jamie to get with her so bad. So it kind of took her from my number 1 when he actually finally got
Francie looks better than Laura Winslow?
Yes, I'm sorry. I like Laura, but she does.
Okay.
She does.
Okay.
I'm talking about,
I just wanted to see your answer. I actually have no relation. I don't give a fuck, actually.
From Coming to America?
I just wanted to...
Garcelle?
Your penis is clean. Go ahead.
Another honorable mention, I didn't put her officially because she wasn't a regular on the show, was Lisa from The Fresh Prince. That was played by Nia Long.
That was Nia Long. Shout out to Sanford Kelly. Sanford has a great crush on her.
Yeah, so I didn't choose her because she wasn't a regular on the show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I didn't think it was fair.
She really wasn't. She wasn't, yeah.
It's crazy.
Will!
So my number one crush growing up.
Black sitcoms, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, H2O, huh?
Yeah. Because it's going to be weird.
Damn, I'm actually curious. Listen, guys, I'm getting to know Matrix even more. Listen, we've been best friends for years, but I get to know him even more when it comes to situations like this. So, hey, have at it. Who's the number one?
Number one, growing up. I'm talking about, I was born in 83, so probably like early 90s.
Okay.
Claire Huxtable.
Let's see who this is here.
Claire Huxtable.
Claire. I think I spelled the name right, Claire.
OD, yeah. OD. She was the mother on the Cosby Show. OD. She was ridiculous to me.
Oh, that's why you mentioned Bill Cosby.
Because she was gorgeous. But on the show,
she look like she's aging well. I mean, she's old here.
On the show, she was also smart as hell. She was a lawyer on the show, so she like.
Isn't she on Power?
She broke. Nah.
Wasn't she on Power?
I don't think so. Might have been, but I don't remember that.
She was on Power, dude.
I don't know about that.
What's this dude's name? The guy that freaking St. Patrick was with. That was in the politics. That was trying to be a mayor or some shit.
You talking about
and then his mother.
Tate.
His mother was her.
Really?
Yes, she was on Power, 100%.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, Claire Huxtable.
Damn, I can't. No, just type in Councilman Tate or Felicia Rashad.
Wait.
Type in Felicia Rashad on Power.
Claire Huxtable on Power. I swear, I think she was on Power. Yes. She was on Power, yes. 100%.
Okay.
That was the last time I seen her.
Okay.
That's why I said Power. Okay.
But yeah, she was my number one crush coming up.
Now, let me ask you this. Was it because, obviously, the looks, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's because she was smart. She was a lawyer.
She was smart.
Bill was a doctor. She was a lawyer.
Right. Bill was a doctor.
What? Now, when they talk about, we living real comfortable, Huxtable.
Facts.
You got a pops, a doctor and a lawyer, my man.
Remember, that wasn't one of the. I did say this. I don't remember much.
That's fine.
I seen that shit when I was.
They had bread.
Yeah, they was comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's facts. I remember she was a lawyer, 100%.
Yes.
Bill was just always being a clown, so I just always like left them as the clown guy of the family. You know what I'm saying?
It's Bill.
Oh,
Pudding.
So Claire Huxtable, huh?
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I've known this man for years.
Yes.
We said a lot of things to each other. I didn't think that'd be a number one. Mm-hmm. You know, you look like a Pam Regina guy. Mm-hmm. Nia Long, actually, too, yeah.
Yeah, but she wasn't a regular. She didn't have her own official show. Otherwise, she would have got it.
Okay.
She would have got it.
Claire Huxtable. Look at that, guys. Well, there you have it. You learn a little bit something about Chris Matrix. I mean, with every season, every episode, right? You find out he was born in Cali. Not to bring that up. But people, yo, and the only reason I'm saying that shit, listen. Let me tell you how real that is, though. Hold on. Let me tell you how real that is, though, right? Yo, I be streaming sometimes, right? I mean, listen, if they fans of the podcast, they know this already.
Yo, I'm gonna say a funny story about that too.
This common knowledge, but look, I literally was in my channel, right? I'm chatting. I forgot what else. I think I was playing Warzone, right? Somebody came on and was like, yo, man, I'm a big fan of he subbed it. He said, yo, I'm a big fan of the No Frillz podcast, man. Yo, this is crazy. Can I ask you a question? I'm like, sure. Yo, is Chris Matrix really from Cali? I swear to God, that was one of the questions on the sub. You know how you can sub, you can write a question or some shit, right? Yo, or just write something. Yo, I love your show. That's literally was one of the questions.
I'm not from Cali.
I speak your mind.
I'm not from Cali.
Listen, City of Brass made it.
I just decided to pop out at that time when
came out
when Miles Dukes was traveling. That's so I was just ready.
So you got a story about that? So
I was like, yo, what's hot? Let me just come out.
So talk to me.
My mom didn't live there. I didn't live there.
It just so happened.
Yeah, she traveled. She just went over there by car, and I was ready to come out. Then we went back home. That was it. I just happened to come out there.
I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
You know what? Just to throw it, just to put it on record, people are very confused because look, when they see Chris Matrix, they see New York.
I am New York.
They see Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
They see, you know what I'm saying, the World Trade Center one day was
the concrete
up. You know
jungle
what I'm
where
saying?
dreams are made of. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like people really see Matrix. They're like, man, this guy's in New York. I know he smells like a Knickerbocker. Like, I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know. Like, they literally see you, bro. They really see you as New York.
Mm-hmm.
So when they hear things that you're from California, you know what I mean? It's a little weird because you don't fuck with the Staples Center. You fuck with Madison Square Garden.
Yes. So funny story, right? Cause I'm in my Discord, Cap Shakers Discord, right? Shout out to the Cap Shakers. So shout out to Ertola and Javi, right? So they stay freaking, cause they're both from Cali. So they stay joking around like we'll be in like a chat with like 5 people, right? Me, those 2, and 2 other people. And they're like, yeah, we got 3 Cali people in here.
Oh,
joking out, right?
That's good.
So I'll be like,
that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
So I'll be like, yo, what are you talking about? What do you mean by that? He's like, yo, mate, you from Cali? I'm like, all right, yeah. I'm like, show me where that's at. He's like, yo, you crazy? He's like, yeah, I seen the No Frills episode. I said, yeah. I was like, show me. Where's that? Yo, bro, they could not find the fucking episode. They were looking for like 2 weeks.
Fraudulent.
For that. I'm like, yo, you can't prove it. I'm like, if you can't prove it.
Too many episodes, huh?
He was like, yo,
man,
he's like,
fuck out of here.
He was like, yeah. He was like, nah, don't worry. Where's that shit at? I know I heard that shit. Where's that shit at?
I know my guys from New York.
And then I finally just linked them. I was like, here, like, yeah, y'all sit here, y'all can't find the shit. I'm like, here, it's here. City of Brass episode right here. He's like, oh.
City of Brass, yo, we got that shit as a sound effect. He said,
yo, yeah. And
he said, yo, he
said, what?
I never seen anybody take that hard. Pause. Then my man City of Brass. He literally said that shit, bro. I was dying. We had that as a sound effect, right? We had that as a notification. Yo, every time somebody subs and shit, that was the notifications. I heard that shit a lot. I heard it shock a lot. It is a button. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yo, he literally said, what? He said, what? But that's how shocked you are when you find out about it. He's really from New York. I mean, all jokes aside, but God bless you here. You rep us, and that's all that matters. But you know what? With that being said, guys, I think we're gonna close this out. This is episode 41, 41, and counting.
41.
Guys, get in tune. It is every Monday. We are going to be releasing this as per usual. But big shout outs to all of you guys that watch the show. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button right there below on your screens so you can see more of the No Frills podcast, of course. Shout outs to the Victrix crew. Shout outs to Before the Money, of course, for holding this down as always. You know what I'm saying? So if there's anything that needs to be said, Chris, the floor is yours.
Nah, just
good?
Check us out, man. Like he said, like we back every Monday. Make sure you check out on Tuesday. The Can Opener series is popping on IFCYipeS Twitch. It's been fire so far. Him and Lee Chung doing their thing. Shout out to that.
Appreciate that.
Check my stream out, the Matrix3 at Twitch TV.
Content
same
there.
thing. Yeah, and hey, if you guys have any questions for us, anything like that, hit us up on Twitter. You know what I mean? We're more than happy, or in the comment section. We always read those. We pay attention.
Yes, we do.
What I mean? We here for the people. Don't think we're just overlooking. We pay attention. If we don't address something, that means that it was just too many things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we'll eventually get to it. You know what I mean?
Guys, but please just get involved. Hit the comments. Let us know what you want to hear, who you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Not to toot our horn, but we actually have connections to a lot of cool people that can actually get involved with the No Frills podcast. So if there's anybody that you want to see, please let us know. But just know we got a cool guest coming in next week. And it's going to link to one of the most controversial people in the FGC ever. Whew. So just keep that in mind that we're going to have a special episode. And when that episode happens, it might actually be like 3-4 hours long.
It might be.
It might be a part 3, a part 2, part 1, part 3. Like, it's going to get serious. But you know what? With that being said, please, peace and love. Everybody be safe. Keep those masks on accordingly until we are back in pace with the world and get everything correct. But thank you guys for having that patience for us for the No Frill podcast to return. And we are here and we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep that momentum nice and high, and it's never dry. So peace and love. You already know, from the Road Dogs, from us to you. Be safe and have a good one. We'll see you next time.